Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to Rise Up After Dark. Did you guys hear my voice crack there?
How embarrassing.
God, what a loser.
Illusionaries. And,
Could never be me.
No, dude.
Never. That's never happened to me once in my life.
Starting off the hole.
Starting off
embarrassing
in the
for you.
Oh, that's painful. Okay, well, welcome back. It's another BYOB, DYOR. Let your hair down.
BY my own B.
I was like, yes, bring your own protein shake. Yes, of course.
Oh, say less. We got
Hey, we have the same cup and everything.
Everybody
Amazon
is-
Basics.
and I also I got a blueberry smoothie here.
Oh, damn, man.
Woo,
We
that
doing
sounds
all
healthy.
Yeah, I
Those
was trying to get that
antioxidants.
vitamin C in.
Okay. Well, Alex, I'm going to return the favor and give you a bump
Yeah.
for forgetting your
I
OB.
walked right into that one.
Let us know
No
what you're
rum.
drinking, what you'd like to hear about. This is also a crypto show, of course. We get together every Wednesday with our friends who work here and talk a little shit about the crypto industry while answering your questions. So you can hear from folks who are building, who are thinking, who are working towards the Web3 future. Let us know in the comments wherever you are, whenever you listen, what you'd like to hear about. And then, of course, you got to join us where the show lives 24/7. I'm talking about community.rumshq.com. It is our free educational community. There's stuff you can pay for, and some of it's actually pretty good, but you don't need to spend a dime to get in there, learn with us, ask a good question. Tonight's guest is our friend Nathan, aka DeFi Daddy, aka Decentralized Father. You might recognize him for his work as a creator on TikTok, on X, and or around the crypto space. It's been, I don't know, how long was it?
I was actually
last year,
thinking
dude.
it was about a year.
Yeah, it has been about
It was springtime last year, and I can timestamp it because at the time I was actually bullish on Sonic, and from then until now it's gone down only.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about that today.
Weird.
A, when Alex told me my mic was hot, and B, I was like, oh, and I shilled Sonic.
Tell us what changed your
Yeah.
mind about it.
The
utter
team was,
collapse.
yeah, the utter collapse. The team is way more incompetent than I ever could have imagined, and they've gone through like 3 CEOs in 6 months. One of them who has an active website for like rent a CEO, Mitchell Demeter.
Oh, that's so bearish, dude.
As soon as the
Wait,
community found that, it was over.
That's chef's kiss. That's so good.
Rent
Oh.
a CEO. Is that like rent a human? But
Yeah,
Or is it-
it's like that
It's a-
movie where you get to rent Brendan Fraser if you're in Japan to be like your dad or friend or whatever. I forget the name of that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
it.
new business model called HaaS, Humans as a Service. You may have heard of it.
Ah, yes. I see we have given a new brand to slavery.
Oh golly. Okay, so that might be a good place to start the conversation and check in with you because last time you're still doing things at Hanon.
Yep.
You were telling us about that last time. To catch folks up, this is DeFi, DEFAI, or are we calling it something else now?
No, DeFi AI, the fusion of AI and DeFi.
Oh, okay. And do we
I
have
got
an
the
official
shirt on as
pronunciation?
well.
You? Oh, dang.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
And the hat. You probably can't see it that well.
Snap, man.
I came with the merch. I came correct.
did
I'll
come
bring
with the
some
merch.
to Consensus Miami for you fellas.
Excellent. Well, you and Will were talking before we went live about OpenClaw, and so I'd love to hear like what you're doing with that, and then talk about Hanon and stuff. Are you running a Claude bot?
I
A
am.
Molt bot? OpenClaw.
I am. I hosted on a virtual private server though. I didn't want to buy a Mac Mini.
Yeah.
I'm not a Mac guy. I never will be.
Don't you not have to anymore? I've seen
Yeah,
so
I was
many
just about to
posts
say, I
that was
saw
just
so many.
like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
it sucks
when it
to
first
suck.
came out, that was like the narrative. Buy a
Right.
Mac Mini. Get your AI agent. But for the people who have like I guess played around with this tech for a while, totally possible just to rent a virtual private server and host it on a Linux that you rent somewhere in the world. There's been some companies that have made it compatible with like a Raspberry Pi.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
like those super small microcomputers, you can actually run your own local LLM on it.
But didn't
So, yeah,
they just come
I'm-
out with like an upgrade where it was like, hey, like normal Claude, like on your desktop now will basically be able to do all the things as if it was on like the MacBook. Okay, you're nodding your head.
Yeah. So Anthropic, the company that makes Claude and all of these outstanding products, have basically come out with their own version where it lives on your computer, can manage files. You can talk to it on your computer, you can talk to it on your phone, and it kind of coexists anywhere and everywhere that you are, which has taken a massive chunk out of their potential market share. Obviously, the big concern with these, let's call them AI agents, is data privacy, right? We were talking before about how William Watson is going to go to an OpenClaw event sometime in the future. And like, that is the biggest thing. Nobody actually knows if their data is secure. Because, I mean, we know it's not, that's for sure.
No, it's too valuable to just be secure. They're making money off of it.
Okay, so what are you getting your agent to do, and how far are you going with the security of it? Like I like the day it came out, I was like, oh, I've been waiting for this. I have an old MacBook that doesn't do shit, and I set it up and didn't give it permission to anything that I couldn't. I gave it read access to some stuff, but I very quickly ran into problems and was like, okay, Gmail thinks my agent is spamming, so it banned it from its own email account, and this service won't service my agent, and this doesn't work well. And there were too many kinks for me. I'm really not that technical. And I was like, the nerds are going to figure this out. And then I started to see all the drama. Moltbook happened, and now it's OpenClaw and the acquisition of Peter Steinberger, and everyone's having these OpenClaw meetups. And I'm like, okay, but really, like, what can I get this thing to do without giving it so much access that I start to get worried? What are you doing? And, is there an easy solution?
Well, like the most obvious answer is like run it on your own machine, whether it's a Mac Mini or a virtual private server. It should exist in its own ecosystem. So for example, everyone here has personal emails, right?
Yeah.
Everyone here probably has business emails.
Yeah.
Make a separate one that it lives in.
Okay, but what service do you use? Because I have had trouble getting a Gmail account that my agent can use without getting flagged by them.
Oh, Proton. Yeah.
Proton.
Proton for sure. And then when you sign up for Proton, add a Gmail as your backup, and then you won't have any issues.
Okay. And do you
Proton the VPN provider?
Proton Mail.
Proton Mail.
They're the same.
Okay.
Oh, are they the same?
I think so, aren't they? Isn't Proton?
I'm a NordVPN fella. But
hey,
I do feel like that just because the name's the same, there would have been a legal battle about that at some point. So I feel like they might have to be the same. Let me find out. Let me give it a quick little.
Yes.
Past that, Telegram for communication, super big. And then really, like, in terms of data privacy, like, you just have to think, like, do I want this information publicly available on the internet?
Okay, check this out. Chief Fact Checked Officer, friend of the show, Bearded, says, a federal criminal case in New York ruled that a defendant's chats with a public generative AI tool are discoverable by prosecutors, not protected by attorney-client privilege or work product something. Is that concerning to you all? And I would be curious to know if this
I gotta go.
Yeah, right. Is it public AI only, like owned by a company? Would this same thing apply if it was like my OpenClaw running on my MacBook that, sure, maybe it's Anthropic's model, but it lives here?
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but I would guess that is subject to the same clause. Pun intended.
Hang on. I didn't have my shot at the ready. The same clause, he said. I cannot believe it. Oh my gosh. So then you got your own machine. You got it set up on its own email. You're talking to it through, let's say, Telegram. What other kind of stuff do you have it set up to do? What kind of skills have you given it that you find actually useful and valuable that don't make you scared of life?
What actual skills? Yeah.
What are you doing with it then? Are you just talking to other nerds about it?
Yes.
Have you guys seen that tweet that's like, I set up my OpenClaw, I did this and this, but have you shipped anything? Is like the joke. Not everybody plays with it, but we don't do anything with it. Are you doing anything?
I think one of the most useful things that people could do with it is like just help you with your day-to-day. So in terms of like my role at Hey Anon, one of the things that I like to do with it is just give me a summary. So I have it logged into my Twitter account, and my Twitter account is very highly calibrated for everything that's happening in the world of AI. Right? So if suddenly there's a new plugin or a new MCP or someone's discovered a new skill set, or maybe Figma came out with something for Claude, I just have it doom scroll Twitter for me. What did I miss while I was asleep? And so that's one of the use cases, because obviously the more time you spend on Twitter, the less time you're spending on everything else.
Does it have access to your Twitter, or does it have its own Twitter account?
I've given it access to my Twitter.
Oh, can it?
And it also goes through my message requests, just in case I miss anything. Which is kind of handy because I never check those.
You're the second person who has told me their favorite use of Claude is to read and skim and summarize what they have missed today or while they slept on Twitter specifically.
It's because Twitter sucks, and any amount of time that you spend reading anything that gets posted there is bad. That's probably what I should do.
I agree. Twitter's in a tough spot right now. Like most people have capitulated because of the price action and market dynamics, and all that's left is people like slop posting AI articles about how to use Claude to change your life and make $1 million in 2 weeks with this new polymarket trick.
See, that's the difference.
Yes, I have seen that. I have seen that, using Claude to like build an amazing strategy for polymarket.
12 times.
Yeah.
That's the only things I've seen are videos and tweets making fun of people for only using agents to inefficiently plan to be more efficient someday. And then, the capitulation has definitely hit crypto Twitter very hard. But unlike in cycles past, the AI slop is just exponentially increased, which makes it so much worse. And the thing that I hate more than anything about it right now is that every other post that I see is from someone that I know used ChatGPT to write whatever, trying to explain how they think we can just fix the entire industry by just, and then, insert nothing productive. Afterwards. It's maddening to read.
It's a very haunting, what's the word? Manifestation of the dead internet theory.
Yeah.
Yes.
For anybody who's never heard it, can you 20-second it? Dead internet.
Yeah. The elevator pitch of the dead internet theory is that the internet is basically becoming a playground where agents and AI just talk to each other and create content for each other for us to enjoy. So there's very little human to human interaction, and it's becoming this network of AI, artificially generated content, where humans occasionally tap in, they share their perspective, maybe they create their own, but by and large, it is, let's call it it's like a sports game for us to watch, I guess is the right analogy.
Bread and circuses, someone might have said.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll start to see more and more AI stuff. You'll be able to tell that less of it is AI, or maybe you'll be able to tell and you just won't care. Have you guys seen the fruit on TikTok? And have you seen the drama around this?
It is going crazy viral.
Dude, fruit, but I think what I have been hearing is that they're inflating. It'll make you toot, man. They're inflating the numbers.
Fruit?
Yeah. So there's a really
give me the skinny.
Scurvy's in shambles.
Yeah, scurvy.
Have you seen the fruit? No, the fruits. What? They're fudging the numbers. What numbers?
Your doctor does not want you to hear this one trick. Yeah, it's spoofs of Love Island or your favorite reality show or just health content that's like, I'm an apple. Eat me to feel less bloated at night. And it's, fruits and other things generated by AI that are talking to you about content. There's the Love Island one is really popular right now. There's like the broccoli that has commitment issues who can't get with the banana or whatever. And they have puns. It's fine content. It would have been mind-blowing like 20 years ago, maybe. Everybody knows it's AI. A lot of people complain about it, but it has millions and millions of views. And there are a lot of creators giving meta commentary about, you guys complain so much about AI, but then you turn around and watch the Fruit Love Island all the way up to 10 million views. And then there are commenters who suggest that this is something that the companies who create these models are inflating to justify their spend and their metrics, saying things like, look, we made this piece of content. It's AI. It's got 1 million trillion views. This is the future. This is where your money went, kind of thing, because it's the cheapest vanity metric they can buy.
So it will crumble, because this is also getting flagged in the professional and corporate marketing world, as exampled by Sam Ogborn. Has posted several times about this idea that companies sort of have their heads buried in the sand about it, wherein they are paying exorbitant amounts of money to advertise on social media and they probably have to be aware, because otherwise it would be insane if they didn't know that this was happening. So they're paying a tremendous amount of money to creators and influencers and whoever's who are botting views to inflate vanity metrics to then be able to charge more to the companies that they're getting paid to do advertising through. And then those numbers become kind of this new standard because it's just sort of expected that everyone can hit this. And meanwhile, you have an influencer doing almost nothing, getting paid a tremendous amount of money to make content for a company, and the only things watching that content are bots. And so you have basically a bunch of companies paying $1 gajillion a year to advertise to bots, who are then also selling the information about that ad to other bots. And then the whole thing is like, so eventually it will crumble.
Have you seen how much AI companies pay for user data?
No. Do you have
No.
any numbers?
Oh, I'm going to type on my keyboard, so I'm going to mute really quick and see if I can find the graphic, okay?
And while you do, let me just let our folks know, because I saw the comment here, Sam AI born, possibly, but CryptoPots, her handle is Sam Ogborn, OGBORNN on maybe I've got a scammer up, because look at this. I got two ends here and I got one end here. Oh no.
Come on, man.
Are you sure? I don't know, man. These look like her real numbers, dude. This looks like it could be her.
Hold on.
I'm nervous about this. I'm so nervous. I can't believe this. Look at this. Let's try it. Look, we're about to get taken in by an AI scam right now. How wild. No, that's her.
Damn it,
She's
Evan.
Ogborn with two N's. Sam Ogborn NN. And then while we're getting that link, I might as well tell you too, if you're interested in poking around in the agentic world, you can go to OpenClaw, CLAW.ai. You can install the AI that actually does things. I really wouldn't recommend it unless you got a dedicated machine, though, and you're a little bit nerdy. And since we haven't plugged his Twitter yet, go over, check out at DeFi Daddy on Twitter. He's got links there to Hanon, all his other stuff. Did I buy you enough time? Have you got some links at the ready?
I couldn't find it. I failed. I'm sorry.
But
But the key takeaway is that OpenAI spends almost $3 billion a year acquiring users' data
Yeah,
to better personalize their services. At the same time, they're shutting down Sora. Did you guys see
Yeah, I
that?
saw that.
yeah, what's up with that? I
Yeah.
did see that. Is it
And
just
that was
because
after
everybody's...
they spent like $400 million getting exclusive deals with Marvel and Disney.
Oh,
Well,
my gosh.
Yikes.
Well,
Yeah.
big gulps, huh? See you later.
Yeah, they said they were gonna find a way to keep your data, your creations, that kind of thing. To everyone who created with Sora, shared it, built community around it, thank you. What you made with Sora mattered, even though we know this news is disappointing.
It didn't
Yeah, right.
matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters to them at all. We'll share more soon, including timelines for the app, the API, and details on preserving your work. I gotta believe that this is just so expensive for them.
If
Because
Linus says the API is a goner, then the API is a
then you
goner.
know the API is a corner. Speaking of things that are gone, there was a really good comment from Nerd of Ka a little while back on TikTok. Thanks for being here tonight. He said, it's deep in the bear market and sentiment is down bad when there are less than 100 people watching on TikTok. So if you're watching, you're tuning in, listening to the show tonight, then this is the time to pay attention. When there's a bunch of AI slop on the timeline, everybody's doomish. This is the time to plug in and learn.
I saw an interesting statistic that kind of represents this idea, how when crypto price action is bad, people leave because they can't stand the mental pain of number being down. And it was that treasury companies, 95% of all treasury flow for Bitcoin is MicroStrategy.
Wow.
When like 6 months ago, there was so many people contending for Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. Now MicroStrategy, they're the only consistent people here. I know crypto sucks right now, but like Evan said, it's when you have to pay attention, because that's when you'll get the opportunity.
Okay, so tell us more about what you're doing. You're still working on Hanon. You told us about it last time, and it sounded like the pitch at that point was an AI agent that lived in Telegram that you could talk to and direct to take certain on-chain actions for you. And this was about a year ago, and it had been up and running in sort of was it the alpha or the beta at that point for a couple of months. And I used it a little bit and I was like, oh, like, yeah, it works. It was one of the first wave of agents that actually could do stuff. So how's it going now?
Yeah, sure. I'll We'll do a little bit of a back and forth shill session. So you're not wrong. At that point in time, it was a Telegram bot. You'd deposit some money. You could say, hey, buy Pepe or deposit into Aave. It was a very rudimentary product. But now there's an entire web terminal where you can transact between 18 different networks, EVM, Solana, Telegram, or Ton, rather. There's 46 protocols integrated. So Hyperliquid, Aster, Aave, dBridge, Layer 0, and all of the typical DeFi players. And then there's also centralized exchanges integrated. Binance, Bybit, Mexi, OKX, and there's one more that I forget. So basically, if you connect your centralized exchange keys, then you can access all of CeFi and DeFi in the same place. So you could say something like, hey, withdraw $500 from my OKX wallet to cold storage A or a hot wallet. You can move between networks, so you no longer have any pains of trying to figure out what bridge to use. You just say, hey, take me from base to ETH, and it does it. More, I guess, exciting recent developments, two things to talk about. In that 14-month period where we had our trials and tribulations figuring out how to master artificial intelligence, we came to the conclusion that we could use it for oracles, where AI could print queries on chain, which is super cool. So we made
queries of, it's printing the query itself, or it's printing the results of the query, like
the
it's
result of the query.
Yeah.
So we made a permissionless prediction market. So it's called Pandora. It's a hand-on product. It was kind of an experiment with the smart contract technology. We just released it at the start of March, but basically you can bet on anything. Will Evan cross a certain amount of followers? Will William Watson shave his mustache? The answer is no.
The answer is no. I spent too long thinking I couldn't grow this to now have it.
It could be prices of meme coins, sports games, just about anything and everything. It's in beta. We're almost at 500K volume, still fixing lots of bugs. But basically, it's the truly decentralized alternative to Polymarket.
Okay, but help me understand how it's different. What does this do that Polymarket does not do?
Can you go to Polymarket and make a market, Evan?
It depends.
You can't.
But just anyone can make a market here.
Anyone.
Anytime. Okay, that's cool.
That's the primary value proposition.
Even a kill market?
Yeah. There's one right now for like Netanyahu. I shouldn't have said that word. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Our viewership just goes in the It's okay. I said,
Yeah.
Sorry, TikTok.
There's a market about BB. Yeah, it's a fully open and permissionless system. It's fully decentralized. The website's on IPFS. All of the liquidity is hosted on chain. There's no shady backdoor market making like Kalshi does. And there's a couple of really cool incentive systems. So if you make a market and it goes viral, regardless, when you make a market, you get 1% of the trading volume as a fee. So if you make, I don't know, you guys must remember the Kabuto trend.
Oh, sure.
No.
The Kabuto Pokemon trend on Twitter where there's one guy just scooping up all the first edition Kabutos.
Yes. Yep.
And so that trend was happening when we were testing this internally. And I made the market for the Kabuto trend. It was 3 weeks before it was available on Polymarket or Kalshi. I just saw the trend on Twitter. I made the market. And let's say it was live and attracted, I don't know, $1 million in trading volume, say for the price of a Kabuto card. Then I myself as the market creator would get paid 10,000 USDC.
Right.
So there's a super strong link between community participation and community reward for trying to capture those viral moments.
How do you settle the market?
In terms of
okay, so like what is in the back end triggering this market is now closed? We got him. We got him. You know what I mean? Like it happened, or I don't know, somebody threw an adult toy onto the WNBA court. Whatever the market is, the thing has happened. How does the smart contract know the thing has happened? Who or what triggers it?
So when you make a market, you set a resolution time.
Yeah.
So if you're asking for the price of
Ah.
Bitcoin tomorrow at 12 noon EST, that's included in the
Right, but
coin
how do you
creation.
do that for a market that doesn't have an oracle attached, like Will's mustache? Presumably doesn't have an oracle that can fetch an API to tell you if Will has or has not a mustache.
Yeah,
Counts
so
of the hairs in my bathroom sink.
when you make a market, you supply data sources. So for example, it could be Will's Twitter, Will's TikTok, albeit the AI agent probably wouldn't be able to discern if Will had shaved his mustache. But this creates what we call human verification. So if there's obscure markets that can't be resolved by AI, for example, Will's mustache, then it goes to community voting, where the people who hold the
Got it.
Anon token have locked it in a 12-month staking contract are then able to vote, and they get a share of the total pool for their honesty. But if you lie and you say Will shaved his mustache and he really didn't, then you get punished. So it's incentivized truth machine for the edge cases where the public isn't, or the answer isn't publicly available.
How is the lie ascertained then? Is it just simply you voted and it was the wrong vote and then you are punished? Or because if that's the case, then you get enough votes, you can make the truth whatever you want to in that instance. Yes.
Yeah. I imagine for small
Definitely.
markets, it wouldn't be difficult to lie.
Definitely. And that's where there is some backstopping from the team, right? Like,
Got it.
we understand that in theory you can buy votes, right? You can buy the token, you can stake it, and you can skew things. So we keep a close eye on the arbitration of these contested events, because at the end of the day, like we don't want people manipulating it to hurt other users, and the platform's still growing, so it does require some hands-on moderation.
So have you heard of Confetti, friends of the show, Confetti.win?
No, I don't. I have not had the pleasure.
So do you know David Phelps? David Phelps is the founder of Confetti. He's a crypto OG. He's been around for a while, and he's just a fun guy. But he has been working on a protocol first called Joke Race, now called Confetti, and it is the first that I know of opinion market, where instead of like, will shave his mustache, will someone tickle BB, the questions are instead opinions like, what's the best new name for the war? Or who's the best designer at New York Fashion Week? What was the best show at New York Fashion Week? And just like you're talking about with Pandora, you can make the market and earn a percentage of the fees, but you could use this to decide what people's opinions were about something like the best director at the Oscars. And it could be a question like, who should win? Or I don't know, if we were all watching a reality show together, we would say, this week, instead of Perez Hilton getting on TikTok and hoping his tea blows up and generates him income from all the watches and shares, he's going to do his show, but he's also going to have an opinion market on Confetti. Who had the sloppiest moment on, whatever this week. And you make money that way. I think it's going to be huge.
It's Family Feud prediction market. It's Family Feud opinion market, if you will.
They had one contest that generated, it was like a couple $1 million in volume, and it was something related to Avalanche, the blockchain, a decision that they were supposed to make, and they said they would abide by the results of this thing. And it generated like, I don't know, $1 million in volume or something crazy like that. And the person who made the market and put up the votes, people made tens of thousands of dollars. So it's viable. Most people probably won't make that kind of money from doing something like this, but
so let's zoom out.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, we're going towards the hyper gambleification of society, right? We know this.
We're on that path.
We definitely are, right? It's becoming more and more Black Mirror. Like, people are betting on traffic in Germany. Trains.
Are they really?
It's trains in Germany and traffic in France, I think. Is this good? Is this bullish?
No. It's stupid.
Did you know that the highest rates of
it's
household
terrible.
gambling were during the Great Depression?
Yeah,
I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by
that. When people
that.
get desperate, they gamble.
I don't think any of us thinks it's good. I also don't necessarily, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's what comes. I think it's a novel technology that people are trying to figure out how to use. You use a new tool to do an old thing first. The Instagram logo on my phone still looks like a camera, even though my phone as a device has like no real resemblance to the picture taking machine of times of yore. It's scalomorphic. I hope and think that people will move beyond it to something
But it's
different.
also like not even a crypto phenomenon. Like, American sports betting That
Yeah.
industry is at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and people are not happy about that either.
Right. So it's like an interesting sign of the times in terms of where we are for like human optimism and outlook.
You mean
Because at the end of the
desolate
day,
and
like,
desperate?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The worse the
that's- yeah.
outlook is, the more likely you are, or the more rational, the more you can rationalize short-term risk taking.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people, when surveyed, this one comes up a few times. Would you rather buy a lottery ticket for a potential to win $1 million or have $10 you can spend on food right now? A lot of people will choose the lottery ticket again and again and again when the surveys are adjusted, depending on how the times feel. I'm really glad you said how people feel, because what I hate is when people say, that's just human nature, as if humans can only lean towards greed or selfishness or competition. I flatly reject that. I think it's much more a reflection of like, did you steal from this grocery store because you're inherently evil or because you really needed diapers for your kid? If you had the
Right.
diapers, would you steal? Probably not. I don't know.
I
The
mean,
intent.
the overwhelming majority of crime is born out of desperation, not malice.
Yeah.
And so it is interesting to think about, because I think prediction markets, Polymarket's fundraising right now at above a $20 billion valuation. And so they very clearly have a product market fit for allowing people to bet on everything. And prediction markets in themselves are super fascinating as like not only like a financial instrument, but as a sociocultural movement.
Yeah, I agree. Alex, you just said, no, they're not good. I was not surprised by that, but do you care to comment?
I mean, I don't have any new opinions about it. I think they are all inherently problematic. The only one that I don't think is inherently problematic is confetti, to be very honest, because it's not based on a controllable outcome that someone can easily rig. I don't understand why anybody bets on these things unless they have specific information. It's all rigged. They are all rigged. Like the meme coin casino is rigged. Those are programmatically designed to steal from you and pay specific people. And now we've graduated into betting on like one guy to do a thing that he's in complete control of doing or not
Like
doing,
the
depending on which side of
streaker
the
at the
market.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, so he
Yes.
just decides not to
Yeah.
do it. Trevor Noah highlighted it. I say this example every time. He highlighted it perfectly. Whatever award show it was that he hosted, where he said, he looked right in the camera. He's like, "If you had me saying potato tonight, then there you go," and that's it. It's
Or
they're
even
stupid.
Brian Armstrong on the Coinbase earnings call.
Yeah, exactly.
3 months ago.
Yeah. He
Yep.
said, yeah.
Same.
And
He's like-
this.
NFT, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and just rattled off like 20 terms at the end of the call.
And
I'm
then
like, come on,
made
man.
$73 million.
Right. And promptly got fired. Just kidding. He got a promotion.
Yeah, it turns out they had equity stake in Polymarket, probably.
Yeah, go figure. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is incredibly problematic. The president's kid is a strategic advisor on one and a board member on the other, between Kalshi and Polymarket. I don't remember which one is which, but that's obviously a problem. Consistently, there are fresh accounts that get spun up before anything happens, that someone takes out the winning bet on 20 minutes before it happens, and then bada bing, bada boom, they make a bunch of money. And we're just like letting it happen. That was a fun thing we covered on Trust Issues yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was this this idea that actually the government can't even do anything about any of these things right now because the CFTC is purposely kneecapped and completely hamstrung from being able to enforce anything or do any of its job. And notably, one of their chief responsibilities is pursuing financial crimes and fraud, insider trading and shit like that. I don't know. I don't like it. I do not like prediction markets. I think they're stupid, and I think that anyone who plays them without the insider information is just setting up. I don't know, man. I really. Don't
okay,
understand
so one thing that is like a core ethos to Pandora is that insider trading is a feature. It's not a bug.
See, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
It,
I
it
just
is
think there
why,
should
it
be
is
rules
why
about
these markets are so efficient.
Yeah.
Right? Like it is a way for you to directly capitalize on non-public information. More or less, that's their function. Like the legality of
Yeah.
that, okay, that's out the window. Like that's another point of discussion. But when you break down what a prediction market is, it is a mechanism for you to monetize insider information. And that is how truth is discovered, right? Like we saw this with the
insider information. God damn it.
we saw this with like the invasions of Venezuela. Like there's huge insiders. Like it's just a different platform for, I mean, I guess for lack of a better word, this administration to extract.
Yeah.
So,
yep, correct. And you know what? My goal now is to become big enough and important enough to the point where there is a market that I have full control over, and then I can just start gambling my net worth on over and over again. And
Habibi, come to Pandora.
So what are the guardrails then that we're going to put on? Because my problem with it is like, this comes back to what I think is the problem with everything. Not to paint with too broad a brush, but if money wasn't the primary means by which pretty much everyone had to acquire the resources necessary to live, food, water, shelter, and wasn't made falsely scarce, then this might not be the way things are. Like the incentive is, I need money because I got to wake up tomorrow. I need to have food to live. How am I going to get it? What's the fastest, easiest way there? How can I be okay? I think we all agree, though, that it's probably not okay to incentivize people to do dangerous things, to, I don't know, manipulate markets more than they're already manipulated. So what's like, what are the guardrails? I'm a big fan of freedom, but I also recognize that we really don't have a lot of it in that kind of world. And I don't want to go closer to a dystopian, like, yes, the best way to get money is gambling. Therefore, we will gamblify everything. That's why I think people are gamblifying everything, is because that, you know, they see it as a quick, easy way to get money, whether or not it is. So I don't know, what kind of guardrails do you put on that? Aside from abolishing the money system and replacing it with something different and more life-giving, we've got prediction markets. What's okay to bet on? Because they are a great way to incentivize people with money to tell the truth. Are there things that shouldn't be allowed, Alex? Are there things that, would you push back, decentralized father, and say everything should be allowed?
I think everything should be allowed personally. Because like the second you start restricting some markets is the second that like you admit that there's a problem. I'm of the opinion that if people want to gamble on everything, they should be able to gamble on anything. Because at the end of the day, I think there is a lot of value in what prediction markets do, i.e. tell you tomorrow's news today. And I don't think that's a flywheel that we should stop. I understand these companies like Poly or Kalshi specifically, because they have gambling licenses in every state, and the sports betting market is about, I think, 65% of their total platform volume. They're basically just a sports book at this point. I understand there is, let's call it legal constraints for players betting on themselves and like other kind of stuff. But I think when you look at it from like a broad, high level, people should be allowed to gamble on everything.
Yeah, I used to think that as well. I used to be like, hey, like make everything legal and like let individuals decide for themselves. But I can't say exactly when or exactly what I kind of stepped a little bit back from that full bore freedom on everything personally.
I have
Where
an answer for you.
oh, you know exactly the moment when I changed my mind on that.
No, but I know like the line
It's like, wow.
that you would walk
Like,
up
wow.
to.
Damn.
I am in your head.
All
But no,
right.
I just
Go for it. Yeah.
if the question is do you allow everything, or at what point do you stop allowing a thing? The only scenario in which I believe you should be able to do whatever you want is when whatever you want does not ruin someone else's time. So if you honestly,
It's
the
a
Bill
fortune
of
cookie.
Rights is really well constructed to address this exact phenomenon, wherein you have the first couple amendments, which clearly outline freedoms that you have that shall not be infringed, things that you have the right to do, blah, 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 whatever. There's an amendment in the Bill of Rights that I would be blown away if anybody can quote to me without Googling it first. And that's the 9th. And so whenever some uppity redneck gives me crap about the Second Amendment being the only one that matters, I always tell them the 9th one is the only one that matters. If you don't have the 9th, you don't have anything. So you should look that one up. But your rights stop where mine begin. That's the premise. So if you would like to go into the confines of your own home and do something that normal, like law, colloquially accepted law would say is illegal, like do a prohibited substance, or I don't know, pick anything that you could do by yourself in your house. Great. You don't get to go out into the world and get behind the wheel of a car while you're smashed and drive into oncoming traffic and kill somebody. That's where your right to do something stupid stops. So prediction markets are very clearly like going over that line, wherein you could set up a market that someone is invited to with almost no guardrails, get into and place a bet on, that they don't know and don't have the ability to know is rigged against them. And that's a problem. I agree with you, Nathan, that you should be allowed to bet on whatever you want, but not on a platform where you don't know that you're betting on a thing whose outcome was already decided or is going to be decided after you've placed your bet. That's inherently a lie. So, it's the same thing with meme coins. I've always thought that meme coins are fine. I don't care. I'm not really particularly interested in them. My problem pops up when someone looks you in the eyes and says, this thing is going to do well. You should get in. Now's a great time to buy. Then you do that because they lied to you and you just chose to believe them, for whatever reason. And then boom, they rob you. That's a problem. So
go pop off, King. I agree. I like
it.
that. Your rights end where mine begin.
Yep.
I think. Could you give me an specific example of like a prediction market where you think that would be relevant, just to kind of game this idea out a little bit?
Yeah. So any market where the outcome that we are betting on is controllable by an autonomous person who can watch that market be built and then decide what they're going to do. So like if we're betting
Super Bowl streaking.
Yeah, if we're betting on Brian Armstrong to say a particular word during a press conference, and Brian Armstrong pulls that market up and sees the words he's either supposed to say or not supposed to say to make this fire or not work, and then he decides, okay, well, hey, nothing right now is stopping him from buying the side he knows is going to win and then doing the thing. So pick whichever side is going to pay out the best, put your money on that side, go up, make it happen, and then leave and collect your winnings. Like that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, controllable outcomes, I guess, is the problem with gambling, because it's like the idea of the house edge, right? Polymarket and Kalshi claim there's no house edge, but they take 2% of trading volume. I mean, Pandora does as well, but anyways, I digress. So I guess like the high level problem is controllable outcomes, which I guess the user decides to participate or they don't. That's kind of what it comes down to. But it's, I mean, also Pam Bondi was engaging in these kinds of polymarket behaviors as well.
How do you mean?
Not
surprised to it.
She was saying really obscure stuff that was included on polymarket mention markets priced at like 1 or 2% chance of happening. So it's like you buy that, you get like the 50x. It's the administration of extraction, brother.
Yeah, at that point, just take a couple dollars and put it on the 1% options of what gets said in the Pam Bondi speech, and go for it.
I was actually testing an AI bot that would do that. It was like the idea of like lose 1,000 trades and make it back in one. And it was buying like the lowest odd mention markets on Polymarket across like a whole bunch of different sectors, like the different podcasts, press conferences, and yeah, it made like 2,000 trades. I had 1-0 and I ended the program there.
Did not work.
I'm gonna give a glump to winning 0 trades.
But I think about this prediction market conversation a lot, where it's like, well, then what about casinos? And I go like, well, casinos are honest, because you said it's like the house always wins. Like everyone knows the house always wins. Like you're going in and every single table you go to, every single game you play, like you're probably going to lose. Like, you know that. You have hopes you're going to win. But then with a prediction market, it's marketed to you as like a fair value, like this is just it's going to be what it's going to be based on what happens, right? It's marketed to you as fair, as opposed to, again, marketing to you like casinos do, which is very common, saying that, the house always wins. Yeah. The games, the odds are against you. In the prediction market, these are rigged markets that are marketing to you that they are fair. And that's the issue, is that it's a lie. If it wasn't a lie, if it was a truth, there'd be less of a problem.
What if we
the
could
presentation of it?
The presentation, it matters.
What if we could have prediction markets that were like those two guys where you're in the middle of the labyrinth and you're trying to get out, and one of us always tells the truth and one of us always lies, and there's a door behind me that leads to the center of the castle, and there's another one that leads to certain death. we could just have prediction markets like that, and you don't know which is which. That seems fair.
I mean, it's basically what it is now because you either win or you lose all your money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We had a lot of folks in the comments who are saying along the lines of, Alex, what you say is true. Your rights end where mine begin. That seems reasonable. Giorgio says, I've yet to hear Alex not make sense. TBH. And Wally said about our takes, careful, hot. So I told him I would get that all on t-shirts for us.
I've heard you both make sense. You both think sweet potato pie tastes good, or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, come on. You don't want to start that again.
No, I kind of do.
Oh, no, I kind of
Open the market.
Nathan, where do you fall?
Market.
Oh,
Wait.
man, we really should. That's what I should do on confetti.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I should do on
Dude,
confetti.
let me get back to confetti and make a market about sweet potato pie, which is the best. That's the other thing I do like about opinion markets versus like prediction markets is you really can have a lot of wholesome fun. Bearded was saying in the comment we could launch the market on take bets on what color will Alex's room be tomorrow. There's just, I think once people are kind of familiar with the tools and there's more than just hyper gambly stuff, that it actually could be fun ways to make decisions, fun ways to participate digitally in, like, I don't know, democracy.
And there's a lot of interesting use cases as like pseudo financial instruments.
Or the news. Have you thought about this for the news? I think if there's a financial incentive to surface inside or hidden information, that especially if it was paired with some kind of verifiable credential. Let's say I am an intern at the White House and it's 1996 and I consistently report on things that go out. I have a good reputation on this platform. You don't know my name, but through the power of cryptography, you know, in fact, that I am a verifiable White House intern. And then one day I tell you, the president is having an affair with another intern. I tell you before Newsweek, before CNN, I tell you without needing you to know who I am. And because I have a verifiable audit trail of stuff that comes out of the White House, it's skin in the game, my reputation on the line, every news source gets that story a week earlier. It changes the way we get access to the truth. I think that would be a tremendous use case.
100%.
Who's building it?
Who's building this? Let me hop on my Polymarket app in 1996.
Yeah. What else? Okay, so what else though? Because that's like, I would love to be able to see more. That's like one that I can see, but that's about it.
Well, so like, I've thought about this a lot, and I think there's a lot of niches for prediction markets that provide value that have yet to A, gain liquidity, or B, traction. So like, I had one, because Pandora is composable in the sense that if someone wants to copy Pandora, we can just give them the code and they can make their own version of Pandora, and it's a 50-50 rev share. So we were talking to a lot of teams that had cool ideas. And there's this one person that came to me, and they are a pretty high profile lawyer.
Okay.
And he wanted to make a prediction market that focused purely on court cases.
Okay.
For the outcome, because then it could be used as a pseudo insurance policy based on the outcome of it to protect one side or the other. Which
Help
in
me
itself,
understand.
What do you mean?
Yeah. So a prediction market for, let's say, Will versus Alex.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the sweet potato pie court case.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, in the groundbreaking sweet potato pie court case.
Yep.
And then people would be able to bet for who was deemed to be guilty or not guilty.
So you're talking about a voting pool for the court of public opinion specifically, not like what the judge is going to rule?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
And then the way that it gets resolved, like if Will was found guilty, then the prediction market would also find that Will was found guilty. So it's like a way for for outside people to put a capital interest on public court proceedings.
I see.
To influence courts by monetarily incentivizing jurors to find certain sides guilty or not guilty despite the presented evidence.
Exactly.
Dude, could you
Yeah,
imagine
that's
the
no problem.
headlines like juror found to be?
This was a lawyer that came to me with this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, like
That is as bad, if not
It's
worse,
horrifying.
than the guy who pitched me on a sweatshop once.
Yeah, the sweatshop. We'll have this call center, and
That
we'll
might-
be able to pay them super cheap. We can keep them all in the same place. So a sweatshop. No.
No, I'm not going to
Oh.
pay them. Oh,
ah.
yeah. This lawyer thing, that might be the worst idea I've heard in a
Um,
long time.
Other cool examples, real
Mm-hmm.
estate prices. I live in Vancouver. real estate's super expensive here. Will the price of a condo fall below $600 per square feet before May 1st, 2026? If you don't own real estate, it's a way to get exposure to the market. If you own real estate, it's a way to hedge your position. Luxury cars can apply the same principle. Watches, Pokemon cards. If you have a huge Pokemon collection and you participate in a market that says, I don't know, a first edition Charizard to trade below X value, and you say it is going to trade below set value, you've effectively hedged the rest of your Pokemon position.
Yeah, but in that example, I could wash trade my own Charizard to someone else that was in on the deal. And
see, this is where rules come in, because then in the rules, you could say
we are doing rules then.
Yeah, because we're talking about as if this was on Pandora, because when you make the rules, you could say like the 7-day weighted moving average price.
Okay.
Because that's available on like
so
Pokemon
rule out an
pricing
isolated
platforms.
incident.
Okay, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to spend money on that hedge. Like it's really
That's what hedges are, though. You spend money to protect yourself. It's
Yeah,
insurance.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so, like, I think there's a lot of more complex use cases to prediction markets when you look at them as a binary option in real estate, watches, luxury cars, Pokemon cards. Court cases, we kind of gamed that one out as maybe not holistically ethical, albeit
Maybe.
probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm still struggling to wrap my head around it. It's an interesting conversation. I'd be curious to know if there are more questions. Everybody in the comments is, giving different takes. Transmutationist says, IDK, this all seems nice, but it honestly sounds like gambling with extra
No, it
steps."
is. It is.
It
It
is.
is definitely.
Yeah.
Polymarket and Kalshi try so hard to avoid the gambling word, but it is gambling. For
With
sure.
extra steps.
That's the problem. I mean
Yeah.
that's the crux of my issue. Like
Yeah, and I just don't think that's going to change until we change the money incentive thing. Like, as long as that's how you get your groceries, there will be gambling.
Or you
Yeah,
set up
I
this
just-
Claude bot to make $10,000 a day trading.
Make no
Polymarket.
mistakes.
Yeah, do it now.
I need you to one-shot this. My job depends on it.
Okay, real quick, some breaking news. I have a breaking news update that I'd love everyone to comment on, and I have just another report that's something we touched on a minute ago. This was really relevant and fresh right at the start of the show. Cointelegraph reports that Coinbase once again tells your Congress, if you live in the U.S., they cannot support the latest stablecoin yield compromise due to significant concerns over the proposed language. Cointelegraph is crediting Punchbowl, and I've seen it verified a couple of other places.
yeah, there's some very vague language included in that, so I'm not surprised to see Coinbase do this.
No, but this is number 2 for them, right? Basically telling Congress, hey, excuse me, I know I don't work here, but if you pass that bill, we're going to have a problem.
Mhm.
See ya.
Yeah, first of all, I'd really like to know what their problem is. Like what are you gonna do? Realistically, like without me choosing a side, what are you gonna do? Because at this point, I mean, it's just lobby versus lobby. This is exactly what I said this morning, by the way. Was that like, so the version that passed now is the one that the banking lobby won on. That lobby is more powerful. By that I mean they have more money.
I made a video about the banking lobby today.
I saw it. Yeah.
It was way long. Don't watch it on 1x speed, but just know that the banking lobby is as powerful as the crypto lobby. I would argue more because they're quiet.
I'm not sure. Sorry, there's a comment that says echo. It might be you. Sometimes TikTok kind of does that to you.
You talking to me?
No. I just said there's a comment that says.
When you said,
but no. So the clarity thing, yeah. So as it stands right now, just a quick procedural update. It's still in committee. It's not even like ratified between the two committees that have the joint oversight over the creation of the bill. So the one that we just saw came out of the banking committee. It's not really a surprise that one sided with the banking lobby because who's on the payroll. The next step is back to the ag committee to see what they think about it. The crypto lobby seems to have more influence over the ag committee. And the ag committee is the one that French Hill bought his gavel for, right?
I don't
bro,
know.
you
See
asked
the
me
chair.
like you think I know.
Yeah, right. Like
French
that's
Hill?
a you.
The gavel? God. What a nerdy thing to know about. And I do crypto. Let me find out. French Hill Gavel probably is.
No,
Gavel
never mind. Sorry, he's House Financial Services. That's where he bought.
Yes, House Financial Services.
His gavel. Yes,
favorite.
of course. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, ag committee has to decide whether or not they like the language or they want to change anything or not. And when they change something, it's going to go, you guessed it, back to the banking committee. This thing's not going anywhere. Everybody hates it. Nobody likes it. It's not a good bill. It's not going to do what you want it to do, even if it does pass. And right now, I don't even think that anything would necessarily get passed, because even if both Senate committees agree on it, it has to go back to the House before it can go to the president. And if the House proposes significant changes, you guessed it, back to the Senate. Our fearless leader has made it relatively clear that he really doesn't give a shit about anything. So
yeah, he said any deal they make, I'm pretty much. Oh no, that's about Iran. Never mind. It's hard to tell these days. I'm not happy about it.
It applies to anything. He said no bipartisan legislation can pass until the Save America Act is passed. But now there are problems with that one, and that one's not going anywhere. You have Senate majority leadership
we have
poo-pooing that one.
an election in 5 months. We have an election in 5 months.
So anyway,
everything is going to work out just fine.
There's your clarity update.
Everything is totally going to get passed.
It's not a surprise. I do think that Coinbase is kind of posturing a little bit because they'd be fine with this.
The other thing I wanted to touch.
Coinbase would just make more money from this.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to touch to distract us from debating about the merits of sweet potato pie was you talked about manipulation and specifically mentioned Pump.Fun a minute ago. I don't know if you guys saw this report. This is on X. I haven't verified it, but it seems to have been well received, which usually lets me know via triangulation that it's probably fairly legit. This person said the top 250 Pump.Fun players extracted about $79 million from deploying 194,000 tokens. That's 1,100 a day in the last 6 months. Only 10 of those tokens achieved a $5 million or greater market cap to become, what people might call a runner. And he has a full list here. I thought was a pretty stark example if you're looking for hard numbers of just the kind of hopium you got to be on to go there, and or you got to know somebody.
You got to know
somebody. You got to be somebody, and knowing somebody is, apparently legal.
It's not about who you know; it's who knows you.
Oh, okay, all right, I like that. Speaking of who knows you, I got to give a special shout out to Elvis Dave. I'm also going to shout out Seavish Bearded, who says we are driving DeFi Daddy to drink, and all the folks in the comments for making time to share your crypto questions with us or just pass the evening. I saw one from Mr. Slippers who said, even my wife doesn't see me like that. So here's one for you, Mr. Slippers. I'm sure he was joking. And to your wife too. We probably better give her
Why am I crying on stream right now?
Dude. Will, the people want a Bitcoin update. With a little chop back and forth, I know you guys had a lot of different questions to answer, so I'd like to defer to that maybe next. Alex, you've got a list of questions, and of course, Nathan, if there's somewhere you want to take it, I'm open to it. But the people yearn for Bitcoin. Will, can you give us a take?
Is it sad or is it glad?
It's middling. Like, this has been the hard thing with Bitcoin is like we haven't had a confirmed bullish move or confirmed bearish move like in a big way for a little bit now. Oh, DeFi Daddy, that looks delicious.
What's he drinking? Yeah, what are you drinking?
Nice fine little bev.
Diet Coke.
It's
Diet Coke right there.
Gotta keep the overlords happy.
That's apple juice right there, baby.
Yeah, I said BB, and I can't be saying the other B word associated with this beverage.
Damn.
Yeah. But, like Bitcoin's been in this channel for a while, and if this channel breaks the downside, then you have a bear flag pattern here. And when I say to the bear side, you need something like this. Then, if you have this breaking and touching of a reconfirmed, resistance, and you start getting that rejection, well, that's a bear flag pattern. You're going to get Bitcoin down to 48,000. But Bitcoin's just kind of hanging out in this channel. It's just kind of been bouncing back and forth between it. If you are a trader of chop, you just, buy or set a long when it touches here, comes up here, set a short, you've been able to be fine, right?
Buy
You
low,
know,
sell
it's
high.
buy low, sell high. But like, over the past 2 days, as I've talked about, really 3 days now, like we've had some short-term bullish action here for Bitcoin. On March 23rd, it got above some resistance points of the 12 and 21-day exponential moving average, and then it had a daily candle close with a nice long wick to the upside above those same points, confirming it as support. And today we had a little bit of a liftoff here, and we're going to get some resistance here at the 55-day exponential moving average at 72.6K. I think we're going to at least tap it, but I mean, if I zoom out here,
The fractal between now, like the
Mhm.
current price action from February until now, and mid-November until February. Do
yeah.
you see that? It kind of tells me we're going to Goblin Town.
Oh, this and then this.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too, man. Send it
The
lower.
No,
I think we got a one-way ticket to Goblin Town. in
I mean, that's the
near
thing,
future.
and yeah, I think you get something similar
goblins.
to what happened here. So, what is this? January 12th, you had this bullish price action here over the course of 4 or 5 days or so, and it touched this line. This is the bear line for the bear market. And I bet you get something similar. I bet you get a little bit of a rally here that goes up and touches it somewhere in this 76 to 75K range. And then you end up getting a rejection. I would bet on there being a rejection because the macro environment is so terrible. But I bet you get like a near exact copy of that. That's what I personally expect. There'll be and actually, you won't even need a false bullish breakout of this. It can go up and tap it and stay within the channel, and then you get a break downwards that would then see Bitcoin go to 50K because the macro environment is just god awful. Inflation is expected to go back up to 5.2% this year. We're not going to get a single rate cut in 2026.
I've heard credible sources say there might even now be a rate hike at the rate.
Yeah, the odds of a rate hike in November and December are up to 22%. And so, yeah, I mean, like it's the odds of us getting rate hikes more than rate cuts is more. It's larger.
It's similar posturing to what was happening during the initiation of tariffs, where the inflation expectations were rising drastically. There was some cracks showing in non-farm payrolls and other important labor market data. And it's the kind of dilemma where the Federal Reserve has to adapt long-term policy to short-term unknowns. At that time, it was tariffs, and now it's oil, right? Everyone knows how important oil is, not just for energy, but through the entire economic food chain.
Well, it's not just oil, it's also the bonds market. The 10-year treasury note for the US bond is up something like 10% since the beginning of March. It's up from 3.9% up to 4.4%. And what's that's caused is that's caused mortgage rates to go back up to 7%. It also makes buying a car more expensive. It makes debt more expensive, all that kind of stuff, particularly the United States debt is a problem. Because that debt payment gets bigger, more people sell bonds, make rates on bonds go higher, makes the payment on the debt go higher, makes owning a home more expensive, makes rent more expensive, right? So oil is critically important, but so too is the 10-year treasury note market as well for the impacts of inflation and henceforth, therefore, round table rate cuts, rate hikes, all that kind of stuff. So those are the two things to really be paying attention to from a macro standpoint. And, if the Iran war ends, then, which the United States, I think, will try to do, will try to seize the oil refineries, Strait of Hormuz, and surround it by a whole bunch of missile defense systems or something. And then oil can flow again. Something like that's going to happen. Or there's going to be a peace deal. The peace deal would be easier in that sense if the goal is purely just the stabilization of oil markets. But I think you have oil go to $150 to $180 a barrel. It's at like 120 right now, 110. That's what I think is going to happen. And if oil goes up that high, rates on bonds continue to go higher. You're going to have inflation absolutely destroy the market. You're going to have a potential recession in the United States. You're going to have to hike rates also, which will also further along a recession in the United States. And then, you'll have to cut rates eventually and pump the market with money.
Where do you think silver and gold falls into this?
It's hard to say because gold and silver have already been on such a rip, which is why when oil was going up so aggressively recently, gold went down 30% in about 7 or 4 days. It was kind of crazy. It was just because it's so overbought already. I don't know how much higher it possibly could go. It's also important to note that at least in the last recession, the major recession, the 2008 recession, I'm looking at one that wasn't caused by COVID. The 2008 recession, gold also corrected at first before going upwards. So, like nothing's safe from the initial wave of a recession. So, it's just something else to take into account that adds to the uncertainty. And if you ask me, Will, what do I do with my money then? I go, risk off, cash is king, earn interest off of it to protect yourself from as much inflation as you possibly can, and try to find some assets that do well. Because even in recessions and bear markets, there are some things that do well. Hence, look at oil. Oil stocks are doing great. I'm sure defense stock contracts are doing well. Hyperliquid has been doing well. Hyperliquid still corrected 70% from the beginning of the bear market. So Hyperliquid's also not safe permanently from large swings to the downside. Let's keep that in mind. But yeah, Hyperliquid will keep making money. Whether or not its token keeps going up, it won't, because it's a cryptocurrency, but like it will rebound faster than everything else. But then you have something like a Circle stock, you have money market funds, you got, there's other things you can look at to make money off of.
Well, while you get your chart up and while Nathan is here, can we talk about Tau? I don't know where it came from, but apparently there's been some price action. I guess it's up like 100% or something in a couple of days. I have absolutely no idea what's going on with it because I really don't pay attention to it, but everybody in the comments everywhere is asking about it. And
it's been funny. It's been funny this past couple of weeks, I'd say like 2 weeks. The coins that have done the best are the coins that were super hot in 2023. Render, Tau, another shitty AI coin. What was it? I forget what it was. And then also IMX, Immutable X, was like in there too. And I was like, this is just 2023. They were all in like the top 10, top 15 best performing altcoins like last week. It was interesting.
People forget IMX was an NFT exchange in 2021.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I remember. I was there.
Could be the move again.
Let's go back. Run it back for round 2, guys.
Run it back.
Yeah, Tau's doing fantastic here.
It even looks like a little smiley face on the chart art with the volume there.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
It's kind of cute, yeah. In sunglasses, like cool guy.
We started seeing long signals on March 16th on the Moxie indicator. It's above the 200-day exponential moving average right now.
What day was the Jensen comment? Do you know?
What is the Jensen comment?
I don't know. What is the Jensen comment?
The CEO of NVIDIA giving Tau a shout out. Which
I think it was the 20th. I think that's when the NVIDIA event was.
Okay.
What day would have been right here.
Because that's interesting.
Sell the news.
Yep, there you go.
You probably had
but
a prediction on Tau
price. This is a strong.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, but this is a strong move to the upside above the 200-day exponential moving average. I would expect a correction down here and retest this at some point. This is sitting at $285 or so. We're very overbought on the relative strength index. Let's take a look at the weekly chart real quick. Ooh, nice confident move above some additional resistance here. There's still some potential room to the upside if it remains hot, but I certainly would not expect it to, just given the macro. But I mean, like, if Bitcoin were to flip around right now, I'd say like Tau is like racing to try to make new all-time highs if the market and the macro is actually solid enough. So like this chart, this chart looks really, really good. I just think it will absolutely come back down to about 286 at the very least. And if we, we got a lot of, I think this will correct. I'd be taking heavy profits off of Tau if you have profits personally.
Better be.
Yeah, and you better apologize to Tom Walsh in the comments who said, William just called my coin shitty.
What do you guys think about the fundamentals of Tau? Because I think it's kind of nonpartisan agreed as like one of the blue chips in the AI space. I have my own thoughts,
saying,
but
the hottest average guy at the bar. Yeah.
Who uses
Are
it?
the tokenomics actually good? Like, does the token holder
there's
benefit in
21
any way?
million of them. It's just like Bitcoin.
Right, it's the Bitcoin of Japan. So are there any benefits for token holders? Are there any benefits for token holders? Like, do they accrue fees from the protocol? Is the protocol making money?
Listen, the other like catalyst to this little renaissance that it's having, in addition to the Jensen comment, is a tokenomics improvement that I don't know all the details on, but it was something about emissions getting rerouted somewhere.
Dude, it's just a burn.
It's a buyback and burn, effectively.
They've had their halving. They've had 2 halvings already, I think.
Hang on, I have a note in my
but
show
if
notes
people are
somewhere.
like, why is it going up in value? It's because whenever you're in a bear market, every now and again you have an altcoin start to do well and people jump into it like the life raft off of the Titanic, right? And people just like jump into it and it starts to rip.
The narrative is also being pushed pretty hard on Twitter of like the Tau ecosystem. Look at all these subnets performance, right? If you buy Tau and then trade it for a subnet, like you get exposure to the ecosystem, and like Tau is going to change the world.
Was there a poly market or like a Pandora market for this? Because Bearded points out that Will and Doug did talk about it on stream, and now look. So I'm curious, did somebody Schmilliam Schmatzen open a trade on that?
I couldn't tell you. We definitely took a look and said, if this, then do this. Chart looks strong. If it gets above that point, got above that point. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, seriously. Are you? Oh, dude, what are our friends? We got to get Prometheus and
oh shit,
Cupid. Yeah.
Oh yeah, goddamn, we got to get them on the show.
What's their company called?
Shit, that security company.
They have several projects. They are incredibly private, and I talked to Cupid
about him on stream.
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times. He's interested in hanging out again. He's very tentative about doing a media appearance. So for context, I really don't want to say anything until he like says to say it, because they don't really post a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
They work in the security. So it's a lot of ex-military guys that work in the security side of crypto. They do all sorts of stuff. They help people. Those tools where you can like plug in like your name and it'll tell you like how many third-party database sellers and scrapers have sold your data to whoever. They have a product like that where you can see how exposed your information is, your doc status. They also do like literal on the ground like security for hire if you're concerned about wrench attacks and stuff like that, depending on who you are. And they have a couple of other things, and then they have some various products that they have worked on to help you like clean up and secure your online footprint. It's very interesting. When you said
the word Prometheus, I kind of got PTSD, because there's a really notorious crypto scammer called Prometheus.
Oh, really? Somebody asked in the comments, right. ZKAS guy, and I don't know it.
Z Casino.
Is that what it was? Yeah. No. This is. I don't think this is him.
No, it's not.
Definitely not. Prometheus, the bad one, lives
there is Prometheus the good and Prometheus the bad. Yeah. One is a bringer of light, and the other is a tormentor of fire.
This is the ex-military one.
Yeah. Good guy.
So let me ask. The other Tau thing was, so I found my notes. So one of them is the halving, and then there's the Jensen comment, and then some investor that I've never heard of, Jason Kalakinis, who I guess has invested heavily into it, arbitrarily predicted that it was going to do a 200x.
He's on the All In podcast with Tremouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was probably because their podcast actually has a lot of mention markets on Polymarket.
I bet it does. Yeah. Go figure. Go figure that the podcast.
How long on leverage plus Polymarket mention?
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably. Can I do this? Can I do this with my hand on bot?
Why not?
Guys, I need you to make more videos so that Rise Up Media becomes a giant, and then we can decide the fates of poly markets or any of these prediction markets.
Well, no, could you imagine what a sponsorship?
Yeah, we can just make our own on Pandora. This is right.
That's how we're gonna make everyone who follows the show right now rich. All the people who watch us and know our inside jokes are gonna be like, I bet that Evan will have a giant.
And if you're a
thermos.
premium member and you pay us $10,000 a month, we'll make you $15,000 a month back with our insider information.
If you're watching in the future, this is
be the
a
newest
joke.
Premium benefit.
Right, it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I do not know these people.
I also saw that there was an appearance by their co-founder on Thread Guy. Const is his name, and he talks about why it matters, why it's better to hold, better to mine than Bitcoin, and I just don't know enough about it. I remember trying to read the white paper and thinking
the basic premise is like there's subnets, and on these subnets is a large language model. That's pretty much it.
So what you're telling me is it's a narrative clinic, a hype clinic.
Yeah,
Like,
imagine
once-
if there was open claws that were
Yeah.
mined with Tau. That's pretty much it.
yeah.
Like some of these subnets do like voice to text or text to voice. Some are just like general purpose large language models for like math.
From the first time I ever heard about Tau, I went, why the fuck would anybody use this? Like, it's just like, let's take what's already available for free in open source and put a token on it. I'm just like,
That's crypto, baby.
I know that's crypto, and I hate our industry sometimes.
Lipstick on a pig and slap a token on it.
Yeah, that's it, baby.
That's
So
it.
Evan, the
Can make anything
tokenomics after, in addition to the halving, it was also the rerouting of emissions straight into subnet liquidity pools as an update, which is exciting people. So the annual demand side revenue of their network appears to be somewhere, this is according to Femex, has it at between 3 and 15 million as a hard to verify range. And notably their market cap is almost 4 billion. Their network is it's not even organic revenue. There's subsidies.
Subsidies.
I know, right?
So
it's the only way we make money, but still.
the subnet's external annual revenue appears to be between 1.3 and 2.4 million, while the protocol subsidizes it at a ratio of roughly 40 to 1. One report cited $43 million in Q1 revenue from real AI customers, 75% of the Tau supply stake. Okay, so this, and guess who said that? MEXC. Immediate yikes.
Yeah, dude. Some of their press releases are so sketchy. Like they just, obviously Mexi is, they don't pass the vibe check, but some of their press releases, I'm like, did you just write that?
Don't use MEXC. That is financial advice. This is the thing. The revenue that they have on paper appears to be heavily subsidized by themselves, which is bananas.
Peter Pan Paul.
Okay, so the bull case for right now is that a gaggle of circle jerking billionaires mentioned it, and it halved. Huzzah! Godspeed.
Hooray.
Take profit.
Godspeed.
Take
The
profit.
future of AI crypto.
Yeah.
Tensor Tau.
My curmudgeon-y bearish take on this thing when it launched, because we did an After Dark on it a while ago, like when it had just launched. And then, of course, I remember vividly when the website was spun up. I think it was like purposely written. This is FUD. I'm sorry. Like purposely written to seem really like lofty and intellectual and like very academic, while not actually doing a whole lot. And then it was like the website was designed. It looks like a .txt file with a few like little flash thingies on the bottom that kind of like squiggle around a little bit. So I think that was like meant to make it just like look even more serious. It gave me like early Cardano white paper vibes, where like the point was for me to convince you that this is an academic endeavor. And if you don't understand it, good. You're not supposed to. It's actually all gibberish.
Yeah, I think they pulled off a narrative heist. I think
they nailed it.
People don't understand it well enough to know the difference. I certainly don't. And they say that it's going to be the Bitcoin of AI.
Yeah. But
the Bitcoin of anything is Bitcoin.
But this is crypto, and that thing could scream to $20 billion. So
sure.
Yeah, exactly. Price value, they don't follow each other in this market.
Unless your name is Hyperliquid.
In the words of President Scroob, smoke them if you got them.
I guess a higher level question. AI, crypto, do you think there's a good fit here?
Yes.
I'm curious what you see as like
blockchain.
Okay. Why not
be
AI
a great
and crypto?
Fit there. So I'll also give you that as well. So here's what my answers will be. Is one is this is the Evan answer also, and I think it's the perfect answer, which is in an AI video generated world, you need to have something that can verify that it was made and coming from a human. And you can use blockchain identifications in order to verify if something was coming from a human, or if it's AI generated, or if it's like verified, coming from a reliable news source or something like that, as opposed to just something made by AI, right? And the other thing too is, if you're going to have this agentic future, and for those who don't know what the word agentic means, it just means you have like AI agents on behalf of companies or people making purchases for things and like doing things for you on your behalf, right? You need internet money. You need something that is money that is built on rails that can move quickly, cheaply, in order to facilitate the actual financial transactions of that type of market. And that is stable coins. And that's, air quotes, crypto. But I'm going to use stable coins in this instance because you're going to use stable coins for payment, most likely. And so like, that is my answer for that. I just don't think the agentic marketplace is necessary for humanity and society. I think it's the direction we're going, and it's something that's going to happen. If you're going to do it, you should be using stable coins and the faster decentralized global rails for that, which is, blockchain. But the thing that humanity needs and society needs right now is being able to verify if something is actually coming from a reliable source of information or an individual, as opposed to a fake AI video or something like that.
I agree. The authenticity component is a compelling argument, right? Where both the viewer and the poster can mutually agree that, hey, this is a real human being, or because obviously that line is blurring more and more each day.
Certainly.
And stable coins are the currency of agents. Legally, agents can't use credit cards. Credit cards get very mad when agents use them.
Yep.
Which ones do you think will benefit most? I think there's a compelling argument for a decentralized stablecoin, but I also think USDC wants those fees, baby.
Sure do.
Well, so we've tried decentralized stablecoins, and they don't have a very good track record.
I give you DAI.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
DAI is just wrapped USDC though.
Yeah, but the wrapper is, I would say, pretty effective, and I think it could be used for something like I don't know. As a guy who's like hashtag not a developer, it seems to me like that concept could gain traction in such a way that it would accumulate network effects if agents were to use it, because agents would prefer a permissionless rail.
Yeah.
Backed by valuable collateral.
The one problem I have with DAI is that it's not truly decentralized. It's revocable.
Yeah.
Right? Because like if someone engaged in a scam and took 10 million USDC and quickly wrapped it into DAI, they can then freeze the DAI that was minted.
Right. It's revocable. So it's, I don't know though, on the scale of like, I don't know, the most centralized token in the world is over here and the least centralized token is over here. I see it as a little more decentralized than USDC and Tether because you can mint your own mostly.
I mean, of course, yeah. That's the.
But I see that kind of moddable as a non-revocable, what do we say? Stablecoin that anybody can mint permissionlessly as like the thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean, like we've seen previous permutations like UST, even Athena Labs, like it's less decentralized, but kind of. What's
their structure like? Because I honestly don't know the technical specs of it. I love Athena though as a protocol. Yeah,
Athena is super cool, but they have a stablecoin USDE. It offers native yield of like 8% right now. They have a big vault of Ethereum.
Oh, yeah.
And so when people want to mint a stable coin, they take, let's say, $100 of Ethereum and deposit it into the vault. The vault keeps $50. They then use $50 to short Ethereum. It's called a delta neutral capital vault. So they have a giant pool of capital and half of it is long Ethereum and half of it is short Ethereum. So as Ethereum moves, the value of the vault, in theory, I'm going to say that again, the value of the vault, in theory, should stay the same. And so there's two things that happen. Number one, on the buy side, they can then stake that Ethereum and earn yield and pass it along to holders of USDC or USDE. And on the short side, they collect funding rate premiums, which also adds to the yield provided to USDE holders.
I'd be really curious to see how that has changed over time. I've seen the yield on it, but specifically like the cost of that short position on ETH and how that mechanism will play out over like 5 years or 10 years if ETH doesn't do anything. Yeah,
right. Like the funding rate is intrinsic demand for the backing asset. And by and large, it's egregiously positive in bull markets, and in bear markets, it's closer to neutral or negative. So
Okay.
I agree. It is a big experiment in financial engineering made by Arthur Hayes.
Do you know how do they and also if you're listening, Arthur Hayes, if it's a new name to you, is a name worth looking up. Super OG who invented basically crypto perps trading, among other things.
He invented perps, period. They didn't
He
really
invented
exist.
perps period. Yeah. Okay. Thank
I
you.
actually
So let's
didn't know
give
that
him a
was
ding.
credited to him.
Yeah, BitMEX was the first
BitMEX,
perpetual
baby.
future exchange.
Yeah.
2016 era. I was in university trading perps in class.
He's one of those
Oh, yeah.
people that he does stuff like that, but then he gives takes on Twitter, and some of them are just a dude sharing his opinion on the internet. So that's about
His
as much as
newsletter
worth,
is awesome.
but
You can
I
sign
was-
up to a Substack. I love it.
Yeah, but he's one of those people who's very close to the levers at the center of our space that, when pulled, moves things farther than your favorite influencer who tells you XRP is going to the moon or whatever.
Yeah, but he
Arthur
also
Hayes
acts
says-
like a KOL. He was on stage
does.
saying hype was going to 200x from $20, and then the next week he unloaded like I think $300
Yeah,
million.
he bought a Ferrari or something. Yeah, he's wild.
He was like, "Yeah, I just don't like the price action. You just see the chart. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Absolutely tank.
Arthur Hayes
What's
has
the-
sold $300 million of hype."
That's the quote. Yeah, it was going down, so I
So I
Anybody
sold
would
it.
have sold it.
Anyone
Yeah.
would have sold it. That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Or in,
Anybody would have sold it.
In the OG BitMEX days, there was the troll box, like a website-wide chat, and there's
I
like a
didn't see
very
that.
famous screenshot of like, because he was like the founder and a lot of allegations about market manipulation, and there's a message in the chat from the official Arthur Hayes account that said, "Run the stops, Daddy needs a new Ferrari." Because he wasn't allowed in the States for the longest time, but he bought a pardon from Trump, like
Yeah.
at the very start of
Yeah.
his term.
Yeah, he really did. He got it in before anybody else. Can I take you back and
Started
ask
the
you a
trend.
question about, because I actually think I have not recommended USDE because I have like touched it. I've touched the protocol when it first came out. I was into it. I vaguely recall it, but
you
I'm
know-
curious to learn more about SUSDE because you can stake it and get a liquid staking token, which a lot of folks in our audience are into.
Yep.
I don't know how it works. Can we talk about it for a second?
Well, I was actually just gonna say I just pulled up World Liberty Financial's Arkham dashboard because previously
They own a ton.
well, not anymore.
Oh,
Oh,
I was
what's the
just trying to,
tea?
I was trying to find when that happened because if I scroll through their top holdings, notably their entire portfolio is their own token.
they
Like they have-
offloaded, I feel like, a lot of governance tokens from their known wallet to
No,
their Coinbase account, didn't they?
Well, and see that's what because I can also you can usually see. Oh, here we go. They have
Give me a little screen
Wait,
share
quick
so I
side
can show
note. Do
folks.
you guys want to hear something funny about World Liberty Finance?
Every day.
Oh, please.
Always.
If you want them to buy your token,
Oh yeah.
What do you
10
got?
million,
Oh yeah.
$10 million for them to buy 1 million.
Yeah. Yep. That's been the deal since it spun up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like the give me 1 Bitcoin and I'll send you 2 back.
Yeah.
And Crypto Cat says meow. Meow.
Meow. Also,
Meow.
a ding for Ricky in the back there. That's Will's Pudgy Penguin. You can see him on YouTube, Podcast Land, winning the staring contest earlier. There were a couple of comments speculating how just intense he looked, staring up at your swords, like he was thinking about doing something.
It's
devious
not intensity, it is wanderlust.
there. Wanderlust. What a beautiful word. Okay, what are we looking at here, Alex?
What's Athena's ticker? ENA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the staple is USDE.
So
Oh,
yeah, see, right here, February of last year. So it's been a minute. They dumped everything from
It's like
five.
a KOL after they post the video.
Yeah, for real. Yes. Well, and they got it all. They
Like
got
Arthur
it all,
Hayes
and
with the
they-
Ferrari, man.
Look at this turnaround. This turnaround is like from January 19th to February 4th. Boom. And never touched it again.
Crime. I mean, I guess not crime, but
I mean, crime.
I mean, it's crime.
Crime. This is crime. This whole dumpster fire is just a crime, just a little crime soup.
soup.
Yeah,
I like
look at,
soup.
I mean, the holdings now are themselves their own stablecoin, Sol, although admittedly not very much. White. Oh my! See, here's one that White Rock. Yeah, so they bought in.
Yeah, totally. Also,
and then-
one of the best crypto names of all time, White Rock. Like, could you have gotten a better
Yo,
sticker?
okay, so I told you guys about that Prometheus scammer.
Yeah.
White Rock is also him.
Oh,
Okay.
my
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a guy called Prometheus and another one called Derivatives Monkey. They're both serial scammers. They scammed everyone on Zcash. They used that money for White Rock, and
Incredible.
simply incredible technology.
Emphasis on the in part.
Future tech- it's the future of finance, guys.
The other thing you can do, and there was a
Talking
meme
about
coin
XRP.
cabal that did this and used it as part of their marketing on TikTok, is they sent a huge bag of their token to World Liberty Finance
Absolutely.
and being like, "Yo, they bought in, guys. It's in their wallet."
Can you imagine being the first guy to think of that?
United States Crypto Reserve, USCR.
Yeah.
Oh man, those tokens are so tired. The crypto reserve tokens, the oil reserve tokens. Can you imagine being the first person to come up with that? I sometimes think in another life, just like I would enjoy to be the person who names crayons or nail polish colors, I would enjoy the game of getting to be the guy who sits in the room and goes like, okay, check this out. And then just lays an idea on you. Like, what if we sent 10 million tokens to Trump's wallet?
What if
For the first
remember
time.
that you remember that thing that literally every meme coin pumper and founder did to Vitalik's wallet for like 2 straight years? What if we did the same shit again?
Yeah, now that you mention it, that's not actually an original idea.
No, it is
No,
not
no, no, no,
original
but it's a
at all.
new
Not at all.
implementation of an old idea. It's pretty novel, man.
But do you remember when Vitalik like clipped out full stack of like 30 different projects at once and then donated all the money to?
Remember
Yeah, dude.
when
Oh,
he
yeah.
one shot donated billions of dollars worth of SHIB?
Yeah, just like full clipped and like probably like 40% slippage, and then sent the money to a charity during the
Honestly,
C word.
It's one of my favorite things
It's
that's
so good.
ever happened in this entire industry was when that whole shitstorm went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
the more that I think about it, there's so many memories that is like lost in the back of my brain of the
Oh.
trials and tribulations of being in the space for more than 10 years.
BitConnect.
Yeah,
Remember that
Connect,
one?
bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you get to be in on it too. Let me remind our friends in the audience that the show is going to wind itself down in about another 20 minutes or so. We're going to have to ride our dogs, ponies, cats, and cows into the sunset and sunrise. We'll tally up the dings, the gwumps, and we'll say goodbye for now. So leave your questions in the comments. I know, Alex, you have a list of questions people asked this morning that you guys didn't get to, and I would be glad to hear some of them now if
Wait,
you've got them.
Can I just get one more thing in about a crypto memory?
You're damn right.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
So last cycle, Terra Luna UST,
Oh, man.
I lost a very significant portion of my net worth. One of my friends lost 100% of his net worth in that incident.
Oh,
Ugh.
And now I work for Danny. And so it comes full circle, man.
That's wild, man.
well, speaking of losing your net worth, unfortunately, the last honeypot that was airdropped to this social wallet of mine rugged. It was I caught it 2 days ago. It was dropped in. It was worth like $6, and then it ran up to I think the grand total, according to my little phantom readout here, was somewhere in the neighborhood of $17 million, and it rugged today, unfortunately.
Oh, pour one out.
Sad.
Yep.
Yep, it was worth 17 million, and the liquidity I think was about $2,000 total or something. But I was blacklisted, of course.
Man.
Okay, I do have a list that we intended to spend a lot more time on, but honestly, we've kind of touched on some of it. We talked a little bit about profits. I'm going to say that the profit thing was kind of answered with our Tau assessment. The moral of the story with profits is really, if at this point you find yourself up on something, please seriously consider paying yourself. That is financial advice.
Let it ride, baby.
That's not.
Just 20% more, bro. That's it.
What are you,
I know.
bitch?
just 500% more, and then I'll sell something.
Have fun staying poor.
Yeah, because then the follow-up questions to that whole thing from this morning were like, can Hyperliquid 10x? Of course it could. Is it going to? Nobody on Earth knows. Does that seem likely? No, not really. So if you find yourself in profit, consider taking some. Yeah, in the short term, of course not. There was some questions about the Western Union pickup and announcements around stablecoin stuff. The moral of the story is that, yep, they're doing stablecoin stuff, and they are using one of the only 2 blockchains that it makes sense to use if you're interested in your thing actually working and having any users and any access to liquidity, and that's Solana.
But Western Union XRP, man.
They didn't get the memo
project.
on that one.
That's painful. It's painful, guys.
Anyway, let's move those goalposts and touch back on that in 6 weeks. Don't worry about it.
Ripple. You'll get
Everything's
it.
going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Yep. As soon as the show ends, I'll pick the goalposts up and I'll go put them on the other side of the park over there.
It's the perfect time to buy.
Every time. There's been a couple people asking what we think about Stellar announcing Zbeck as its payroll provider.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, neat. That's neat.
It's neat. Yeah, I would call it neat.
I think burger, bun, nothing burger.
Yeah. I also am sure it's
that's
subsidized. I'm sure it's subsidized.
True.
I'm sure they said we should start using Sablier, and then somebody said, "Hey, I know the Zbeck guy, and I bet we can get it for whatever."
Well,
yeah, exactly.
I would imagine
Some kind of strategic partnership. You push 3 tweets a month for 3 months, and we'll do your payroll for free.
Yeah. No, pretty much. This is the first instance of them doing something off of Solana, and then but yeah, I mean, on paper, it has all the makings of like a pumpamental type of headline because, of course, inside of the Stellar ecosystem is MoneyGram, is a whole bunch of other like physical infrastructure that exists, around that I would be. Listen, the first thing that I thought is, man, that is a massive like lift on the Zbeck team if they plug into all of that and actually get used. And I genuinely do not know enough to say whether or not they're even prepared for that. So I thought it was a little bit strange, but it's neat. I guess good for them. I don't even know what the price did. If Zbeck pumped like crazy on that news, take some profits. Okay. This was actually, I think this would be a fun one to do with you, Nathan, because this came up this morning and I did want to spend a second on it. So there's comments that we're talking about RWA for a second here. And actually, we had a question earlier in the live about real estate coming on chain, which ties into this. So the idea that trillions of dollars worth of assets will be tokenized and put on chain. I've talked about this a few times, so I would be curious to get your thoughts, Nathan, before we reiterate the same points that we've made. But effectively, the controversial take here is that doesn't make any sense, because the cost attack on any of the networks that could theoretically host trillions of dollars worth of real world asset tokens on them is significantly less than would stand to be gained by corrupting the network upon which all of those trillions of dollars live. Like, you wouldn't store $10 trillion worth of real estate in a place where it only costs $200 billion to steal it. So that's immediately a problem. And Ethereum is the only one that even remotely makes sense because it has the highest cost of attack, the most laborious attack vector. So I guess, Nathan, thoughts?
So I think financial assets are going to get tokenized, but I don't think the final ownership will happen on chain. I think the final ownership is still going to live in Web 2.
Yeah.
In terms of like the settlement layer, let's call it. But when you're looking at the liquidity and the 24/7, 365 trading of a real asset offered by a real asset manager, that's going to happen in Web 3. But when it comes to actually redeeming it for IRL fiat, that requires full KYC, right? Like, you can't just buy a bond on from Jupiter, right? It requires full KYC to own these financial instruments. And then if you look past financial instruments, I think if you can hold it in your hand, can and probably should be tokenized, like for example, gold or silver, diamonds. Like authenticity is huge in that
Pudgy?
space. Pudgy.
Yes, that penguin.
But stuff like real estate. Real estate is never going to end up tokenized because the burden of who owns that house is way too large. Property tax, insurance.
Yeah, but don't you think in a
mortgage
Skynet
payment.
future where we've got the oracles you talk about that are fetching these things, proving them somehow, probably with cryptography and some sort of Web 2 verification, they've got a security camera, they've got a this, they've got a that. Don't you think that we could have a better system of verifying ownership has transferred so that something physical, when transferred, can be
like a
updated
blockchain.
digitally? Like a blockchain. But like the oracle is the
blockchain does
problem.
a way
And
better job than City Hall for proving who owns what property.
But like
But
the
the
oracle
problem
and the
is
token issuance is the problem.
tokenizing.
How you're right?
Yeah.
How do you custody that? How do you ensure it's transferred?
Exactly. I just don't think it's going to happen ever with like physical real estate, because there's been a lot of projects that have tried specifically in the Solana niche for like tokenizing real estate, and it's like, okay, so there's a shell company in the Seychelles that owns some property in the US, and they're on the hook for all of the liabilities associated, and the token is basically a REIT for all of the properties that they own. Like there's way too big of a liability concern with tokenizing houses. Using blockchain to track ownership, transfer of ownership is like a ledger mechanism for municipal governments. Yeah, sure, I ship that. That's awesome. But tokenizing houses into like pseudo REITs, there's a reason REITs are like one of the most regulated industries on planet Earth. And it's because owning property is very complicated. So yeah, I guess short answer, financial assets, they're probably going to get tokenized. Physical assets, kind of.
Yeah, the big constraint that I see, even if let's say that everyone involved in the ownership of a house decided like, hey, listen, we are all going to sit down around this table and figure this out because we all want it to happen. And by it, I mean the tokenization of this particular house, whatever it is. There is still nothing legal in place that has been established through the court process or anything to say that that's real. If anyone sued you, there would be no law, no case, no precedent, no judicial standard, nothing that you could rely on as the defendant in that instance to protect yourself. As far as I know, I could be wrong, so please feel free to fact check me and I'll do it myself here in a second. I believe there is actually only one government issued legal recognition of the relationship between token and real world asset that exists on chain anywhere. And it's gold, very specific gold by the German government. And that all of that gold that has been put into a specific vault that is tokenized and lives on chain, which is courtesy of our friends at Swarm Markets, actually. Hi, Katie.
Oh, nice.
I think that's the only time that a government has legally recognized the bond between a token and a specific piece of serialized gold sitting in a vault somewhere, that if you walk in to that vault manager with the proof and the keys in a wallet to prove that you have access to these keys for this particular token that's related to this particular bar of gold or whatever it is, you can claim it. In other instances, there are things like wherein you have an agreement like with the custodian that like, hey, if I burn this token, they will send me the gold in the mail. But the point is that all of those RWA assets, all of those things have a ripcord like, you know, this like you were just talking about with DAI, with the freeze mechanic. This ripcord exists wherein if for whatever reason the company, the custodian of the actual asset decides they don't want to give it to you, they don't have to. And then it's up to you to sue them for it. And there's nothing written in any government for any asset except this one that I just mentioned that I'm aware of, where you would actually have a case to get the thing that you pretend to own. And that's the big problem. That is my big beef with RWA. It seems great.
It's a sexy narrative.
It's a very sexy narrative. It seems great, and theoretically, it's all very possible, could happen, and arguably should. But the problem is that we need, that would be a great piece of legislation for Congress to work on, some sort of framework to legally recognize the bond between token and asset if minted under certain criteria by a certainly licensed issuer or custodian or something like that.
Best
You know,
I can
you
do
work
is a
with
bill in 2040 Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
In 2040, I'm all over that. That's right around the corner.
Okay, but also let's see where this has actually worked. Is the example of Courtyard tokenized storage for a Pokemon card?
No, because that's exactly no.
Hey, just no. He's another human being, not one of your dogs, Alex. My God.
It only works with Courtyard because Courtyard has agreed to let it work. But if Courtyard stopped, you would have no standing to go after them to get your card.
Terms and conditions.
You could try the terms and conditions thing, but then they could basically
the terms and conditions protects them.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. So hypothetically, though, if there is a lawsuit, I feel like that's the closest we could get.
Yeah,
I think if there
that's
could
how it
be
would
some
start.
kind of, I think I'm more hopeful than 2040.
That's how it would start. It would start by you
2030.
By you, I mean Will. Will owning a vaulted, graded, slabbed Pokemon card that's custodied by Courtyard, and then deciding he wants it at his house, and them saying like, "Ooh, sorry, buddy, no," and then him being like, "Bitch," and then suing them.
How hard I would go to war over that?
Oh yeah, we do.
How hard I would go to war. Oh,
I mean, Will, as I've just discussed, the future of the RWA narrative literally rests on your shoulders.
He's like, forget about that. I'm here for the cardboard, baby.
Yeah, I'm just here for the cardboard, man.
Yeah. Yep. I see the comment, Ondo. Same thing. They might respect it, and they very well might. This is not like a slight against these companies that I'm saying I'm like expecting all of them to rug everybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if something did happen, there is no precedent for you to fall back on to say like, oh, well, because of X, Y, and Z, I have a case to sue you and get my shit.
The other thing with the Ondo and Securitize and the products they offer is that you can't just buy them as a willy-nilly investor.
True.
You have to do a full KYC or KYB, whatever's relevant in your case, in order to just participate. Because like I was saying, like the trading layer might be in Web3, but the settlement layer is in Web2. And so by extension, like you can't just buy the BlackRock short-term treasury fund BIDL willy-nilly from Jupiter. You have to do a full KYC or KYB process to get your daily USDC dividends, right? And so like there's these fundamental fail-safes that are there to protect both investors and, more importantly for them, the issuers.
Yeah.
So the question then from Aztec, where does this leave RWA tokens? It leaves them honestly in the same place that quite a lot of different like niche tokens are.
Or even where stable coins are right now. The banks and
Mm-hmm.
Coinbase are having the same fight with Congress in the middle.
It's a narrative that has interest and potential. That's pretty much the defining characteristic for every narrative that includes a niche or a series of different tokens that fall into some category. And RWA is no different. It's a compelling narrative. It's extremely interesting. I'm very interested by it. I'm a believer. I support it. I love the idea. I think it makes a ton of sense. Like Nathan just said, storing relevant ownership information and ownership history and records like that. I mean, Carfax should be on chain as one example, right? There's
the California DMV's ledgers on AVAX.
On Avalanche, yes.
It's like the most exciting thing on that fucking chain. Holy shit!
Taking it back to our conversation recently with Hasib Qureshi and Azim Khan, we were talking to both of them about a blog or an article that Hasib had written about non-monetary applications for cryptocurrency not having legs. This is a great example of a non-monetary application. I kind of disagree with Hasib there. And I get it. He's in VC. He's going to make that point. But like that was my pushback at the point was like, this is a great example of a not necessarily a monetizable, like application of blockchain tech just to store ownership records of important property that you give a shit about proving. So I'm still a fan. I just think there's a tremendous amount of legal and regulatory headwind that the narrative is going to face.
Side note, quick thought experiment for, any of the panel or the people in the audience. Is Bitcoin an RWA for electricity?
Whoa, I love the way that question is phrased. Yeah, I think so. And I also think that I forget the guy's name. Are you familiar, Nathan, with the dude who says Bitcoin can be used in soft war because
Yes,
it's an RWA
Mike-
for electricity, basically?
Michael Lewis, I think his name is.
He's
Great
got
book.
a name. He's got a name, and he's got a book.
That book
and
is banned from being bought in America.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
like a hundreds, thousands of dollars. There's a PDF of it online. I've been meaning to read it. I love the guy's tweets. He kind of went offline. I think he might
Jason
have got
Lowry.
Jason Lowry. That's right.
Bitcoin is a matter of strategic national defense.
Yes, I do. I think that's a compelling argument, and I don't have the words for it to make it. But when I hear other people make it, I say yes. So I'd like to know what you think. But
It's definitely on like the far tail end of like hyper Bitcoinization or hyper Bitcoin maximalization.
yeah,
That sounds like
Yeah.
a word.
Close
I'll
enough.
buy it. Yep.
you've never heard
Uh,
hyper Bitcoinization? I've heard it. People, it's
No.
a very
No, I
he-
gotta say,
He's like 5 steps past Michael Saylor, and that's saying something.
yeah, dude. It's bleak. Okay, what's the thesis, Nathan, for Bitcoin as an RWA, specifically in this case, like electricity?
Bitcoin costs a lot of electricity to mine. It plays an important role in ensuring the power grid is robust and stable for the future. And it creates a direct incentive between the energy production of a nation and their ability to monetize it. I mean, we've seen this with like ERCOT in Texas, for example, when the energy demand is super high during the evening, when people have their air conditioning on, Riot, a Bitcoin mining company, winds down their Bitcoin mining operations, and overnight during the day, they ramp it up, right? So it's called a demand response system. So as power demand from the city, the humans rises, the amount of Bitcoin being mined decreases. And then as their power consumption decreases, they increase their Bitcoin mining. So it's designed to help provide stable energy prices for the people living in Texas. And it's like completely well adopted strategy across the state because that state has struggled with volatile energy prices. And so that's like a elevator pitch for why Bitcoin is an RWA for electricity.
Huh. That's cool. I like that, Dr. Eck.
It's also the same reason they say it can help, or it's the explanation offered for how they're subsidizing power in places that don't have a good grid. Bring in Bitcoin miners. Electricity will be cheaper here. They'll fund the infrastructure, and then they will share the power with other people.
Did you know Iran is the cheapest electricity in the world?
Yes.
Is
They
it
have the
really?
lowest they have the lowest cost of production the lowest marginal cost of production for Bitcoin on planet Earth. And the Iranian government, they don't do it anymore, but they used to subsidize your electricity bill for your hardware under the condition you'd sell it to the government.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's an operation, man.
Circumvent the US dollar somehow, I guess.
Dang. Okay. Alex, Will, thoughts on hyper Bitcoinization or Bitcoin as an RWA?
No, I honestly, this is the first time I've ever really thought about it at all, so I can't really say I have any additional thoughts on it.
Okay, then stew on it. And I'm going to hand the audience a resource before we come to final thoughts and wrap up, which is rwa.xyz. If you're interested in learning about this kind of stuff, it's one of my favorite dashboards. We don't have any kind of sponsorship relationship with them. The show is not sponsored by rwa.xyz, but it could be. And in fact, friend of the show, venture correspondent Jeebs, says he knows the guy who runs it. So he's said he will connect us and hook us up because I'd really like to ask them more about what they choose to source, where they get their information. And this is just a masterclass, one-stop shop. If you want to know who's got the most tokenized treasuries on chain, what kind of instruments exist for them, you can find it. Not just distributed, but represented assets. You can group them by asset. You can sort by most holders and yada, yada, yada. Visualize the data a number of different ways. I think it's really helpful, especially when there's so much misinformation on Facebook and TikTok and Twitter and everywhere else you might be learning about crypto or hearing about crypto and tokenization. This is a great resource. So, get your source from the source of the truth. rwa.xyz. Now, I didn't explain this at the beginning, but anybody who watches the show, which is pretty much everybody here tonight, thank you, my friends, knows that we play a game here where every time you hear this sound, somebody has received a point. Every time you hear this sound, somebody has lost a point. And now it is time.
Hold on.
Oh,
I'm
we do
gonna rug you
predictions here.
to try to win a couple points. I wanted to highlight this thing that that I alluded to this morning, but didn't screen share.
okay.
So
That was supposed to be a glump.
The points and glumps are
That's
flying.
supposed to be a glump.
Oh my gosh.
If you unfortunately stumbled upon this particular video on Twitter at some point today, which is an interview, I do not know what these two whose names are. Although one of them, it looks very familiar to me.
One of them looks like Eric Trump.
No, that is Eric Trump. But the other two that they haven't shown yet on the other side of the table are the podcast hosts. Those guys. What's that? What's the one dude in the red?
I think it says in the first reply on the video. I can't quite see.
The ICH podcast, Graham
yes,
Stephan.
Graham Stephen. Stephen, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question or the claim that Eric is making here is that quote, we started the 3 most successful crypto projects probably in history. We started with a meme coin, Trump. Dude, that sentence is diabolical.
It's so bad, dude.
So real quick. I'm sorry. This is just
This is
so
poetry.
Hang on a second. You said it started with the meme coin Trump.
Fact check yourself.
It started with the NFT collection Trump. Thank you.
No,
very
he
much.
talks
Which
about that
one?
one
He
too.
had 3.
Yeah, real ones remember the Trump cards. Kimberly
Yeah.
told me, "Don't buy those. You don't stand for that." And I missed out on not generational wealth, but a pretty big paycheck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that first sentence gave me AIDS.
yeah, he made plenty of money off those things. Okay, so yeah, here's the thing. They're the very successful NFTs in the early days. Then we started World Liberty Financial, which is just a pay-to-play pump and dump scheme for any crypto that decides it wants to buy the rights to get on their balance sheet. But starting with the Trump meme coin is diabolical because it is a masterclass in max extract. But I just wanted to highlight a couple specific things. He says in this that the Trump meme coin at one point passed the market cap of Ethereum. That is patently false, easily fact-checked, and unequivocally bullshit. It did not even get to 20% of the market cap of Ethereum. Admittedly, it was in the billions, which is obscene.
I think it did crack top 10.
It could have.
Yeah, it sure did. I'm
could've, yeah.
pretty confident it did.
I mean,
I remember I found it
topped out
late.
at 70 billion or something
yeah,
like that.
I was gonna say I think I bought it at like 30 bill, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get rugged here.
Yeah. Well, and spoiler alert. Well, hopefully you took profit.
In hindsight, the president dropping the meme coin should have been a pretty obvious top signal.
Yeah.
I just like at some point I need to repost the video that I made the day that he did it, which was just me saying like, hey, dumbasses, him doing this is the worst thing that's ever happened to the space, and everyone's going to figure that out before too long. I don't know. I hate to say I told you so, but I did. So then he goes on to say American Bitcoin, which is their Bitcoin mining thing.
Oh yeah, they're grifting Bitcoin.
Yeah, he does also talk about USD1, which he labels as the fastest growing stablecoin on Earth, which again is patently false, complete and utter nonsense. The way he's able to, this is a classic, there's a term for this, for the specific kind of lie that this is, which technically has like one grain of truth in one very specific instance. So what he's referring to is the fact that when it launched, it went from 0 to like 3 billion in market cap almost immediately, notably because the UAE, some particular tycoons in the UAE bought like half of it immediately.
It's the same as like the pulse chain guys saying it's up like
Yes.
600% this week, and like it's from like the very bottom tick.
Yeah. So technically it went from 0 to 3 billion faster than any other stablecoin ever has because 2 guys bought $3 billion worth of it overnight and did that. And since then it's done nothing. So anyway, it was just it's a wild interview. It makes me question what podcasters and like people like this who work in media are really doing, because they both just sat here nodding like morons.
They're getting paid. Did you see that TikTok video where there's this girl, I forget her name, but she has political takes.
Yeah.
But the thing is like you would never know. It's like political commentary, but you don't really know if she's on the left or the right. And she's been approached by both the left and the right to make videos, paid content.
Yep.
And the price differential is dramatic. I'd like to see in the comments section, how much do you think the left and how much do you think the right both offered to pay this girl. Mind you, she had something like, I forget how many followers she had, but like nothing amazingly huge, but like also not insignificant either. Like how much money per video? I think Alex and Evan, both of you might know the answer.
I saw it.
Nathan, I'll ask you, you're the guest. What do you think? What do you think the price differential was?
I mean, I can express it in dollars because I don't know the creator. So I would say probably like 40% price difference between right versus left.
Oh no, my sweet summer child. No,
it's a 1,600% difference.
Yeah, it was. The left was going to pay her. It was like $2,000. Yeah, it was $2,000. The right was going to pay her $36,000 per video.
Oof.
That's how much more of a bankroll. I saw that and I was like, yeah, no wonder Gen Z went red. I was like,
what the hell? Yeah, they got the budget.
All the red pill stuff that's been coming out over the past number of years. Yeah, it's because the right's been paying $36,000 a video. Like, my God.
Okay.
Absolutely insane.
Anyway,
that was just an instance where he just sat there and everything he said was a lie. And those idiots just sat there looking at him, nodding like morons. Like, sounds great.
Alex, I did give you a point for that, but you also got a gwump. Somebody said give Alex a gwump because he yawned. Some last minute points to give out to. Point to Will for having a mustache. It's in the comments, man. You can find it. I'm telling you. I swear to God,
who did it?
I am not even lying to you. Sorry, whoever it is.
In shock and surprise on your face right then was amazing.
Yeah. It could be the gwump that keeps you from winning this.
Wait, I'm the only person without a beard or a mustache here. What the?
Don't worry, I'll give you a ding for that just to be safe, to counteract that gwump. I knew it was coming, and I'm gonna take that ding because nobody specified what it was for. And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
that was for Nathan because he's the only clean-shaven person on the show. That's what that ding was for.
The points as they stand. In last place with 2 gwumps, I've got subsidies. 1 gwump, AVAX, for only having the DMV on chain. We've got Prometheus the Bad with 1 gwump. And Rent a CEO, Humans as a Service, as well as winning 0 trades with 1 gwump. So sorry about that. Play again next time. Oh, and the sweatshop. Can't forget the sweatshop. We have got several folks on the board with 1 point, including Georgios, Wally, Rate. Oh, no, Rate Hikes is a gwump. Sorry about that. Mr. Slippers and his wife, Prometheus the Good, Proton, NordVPN, and Alex's good takes. I separated that from Alex, but I also did give him a point for a good take earlier. And that actually... You guys are not going to believe this, but
this game is so rigged. It's not even funny.
You guys are not going to believe this. Ricky doesn't have any points, but now he's got 3 because I like him, which means that Ricky is in second place. You're not going to believe this, but despite the dings and the gwumps, somehow we have come out with a 4-way tie. Guys, everyone on the panel tonight is actually a winner. Alex had 7 points and 2 gwumps. Will had
that was because Alex broke eye contact.
It's 6. If you wouldn't have yawned, Alex, you had this in the bag, dude.
Brutal
guy
in the bag.
Okay, we're gonna give him PTSD.
I'm gonna come to everybody for a round of final thoughts. So if
already got it.
Him goes, I need to polymarket this game.
You have been warned. It's true. It's true. I'm going to come to you guys in a minute for final thoughts because I'm sure somebody will ask a question and Alex will give them an answer. But I do want to say, while the panel collects their final thoughts, a big thank you to the official Cold Wallet sponsor of Rise Up Media. And of course, I am talking about always a winner, Arculus. Thank you so much to our friends at Arculus. If you head over to getarculus.com, not only can you get a cold storage wallet, not only can you get one 10% off because you'll use the code ARCURUMS, spelled just like it sounds, 10, but My friends, they've also got a bunch of resources there that will show you step by step how to start using cold storage for yourself. If you're investing in cryptocurrency, maybe you've got assets on Coinbase or Robinhood, your next step really should be to learn self-custody. And I would welcome you to check out the resources there, to send them your questions. They've got great support staff, excellent FAQs, including step-by-step tutorials and answers to common questions like, what do I do if my phone is lost or stolen? How many wallets can I use with one Arculus card? Can I receive? How do I do it? All these kinds of things, tutorials with videos, with pictures, and we find them to be not only responsive here, but also on social. So one more time, the code is ARCURUMS10. That also works on TikTok Shop. You can find them online at getarculus.com or socials everywhere at This Is Arculus. Thank you, team, for your support of our show.
Especially letting us include After Dark, because coming to the end of whatever all that was, and then doing the sponsor shout out.
Diabolical work.
Yeah.
It's the
Cinema.
It's the show that
Sorry.
makes sponsors call their
Cinema.
lawyers and say, should we reconsider?
They're like, you talked about racism having gwumps, and then you gave our sponsorship shout out? No, I know we didn't talk about there. I just remember one episode where I forget what it was, but something was said, and we're like, well, like there was a gwump for racism, and we get to the end of the show. And
It was during the Solana meme coin trend where everything was super racist.
Oh yeah, everything was super racist. We're like, oh, gwump for race, and then like we get to the end, and we forget what we were talking about from 2 hours ago. And Evan goes, and in last place with -1 points with 1 gwump is racism.
No,
It's like-
because we remembered that actually during that episode, we were also talking about Uniswap's
That's what
time
it
on
was.
TikTok.
oh, that's
And
right.
they got like 3 gwumps.
Yeah.
And I was like, in second to last place, racism, and losing to racism is Uniswap. So that's
that was it.
you lost
That
to
was
racism.
the funniest thing is Uniswap lost
was it.
to racism. That was it. We were like, we gotta fix this. We gotta fix this. Oh god.
Yeah, so you
Good
know,
times,
you never
good
know.
That was it.
times.
Let's go around for final thoughts. Nathan, I'm going to come to you first. And while you think about like a final thought, we did have a question earlier I neglected to ask you, which was, did you do the circle trade at all? Oh yeah, sorry to Bearded. There you go. Polymarket.
He did it on
maybe.
purpose, Palmer.
I made a note about that. I meant to do it. XRP wallet.
The circle trade. Do you mean like the stock internet?
Specifically,
circle?
yes, the stock. We've been talking about it a lot on our show. Will has been actively involved in it, and now that it's dipped a little bit, at least me, I'm kind of thinking
It's the perfect time to buy.
it could be the moment.
Yeah, a perfect time to buy, as the soundbite says. I scooped some up back in February below $60. It's just a long-term hold in my tax registered account. Not really doing anything with it. I believe in the long-term success of USDC.
Okay.
And I'm comfortable holding it in my tax-free account. Great business. Only gets better when interest rates go up. So although I wasn't following the specific dialogue regarding the Circle trade, I guess I did have my own thesis on the side. So
Yeah.
Circle, Robinhood, and Coinbase are kind of the big 3, and Kraken if they ever IPO.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will eventually, and then you'll have Paxos
Eventually.
IPO as well.
I was an investor in Kraken's first IPO in 2020, and then they canceled it. Got the
Oh
refund.
my gosh! Did they just like refund you?
Yeah. It's through like an investor syndicate.
Huh, interesting. Do you have a true final thought for us? And please also tell people the best way to get in touch and follow up with you and support your work.
Yeah, sure. So, true final thought. My name is Nathan. I have the handle DeFi Daddy on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I've been in the space for over 10 years now. I don't know everything, but I come from the angle where I want to help because I might know more than you. I don't charge for anything that I do. I'm just a dude on the internet who likes to share his opinion with his friends.
Amen.
That's it.
Real quick, don't you have one of my favorite like free resources created by somebody who's just here to help you? Is you have a really exhaustive. Is it a PDF? It's a book. I had several people talk about it, and it was one of my introductions to you. That was like, oh, who is this guy? He makes content, and it's if you have come to crypto and you want to make money, here's my honest assessment of like what you do, and here's what this is, and here's what this is. I don't remember what it's called. Pitch the doc, because I think it's actually supremely helpful.
Yeah, it's in my bio on TikTok. It's an investing thesis. It's kind of out of date now. I wrote it December 2023, shortly before the big run up, and it was like, if you want to make money on crypto, here's everything that I've learned. It was 135 pages, I believe. During my time as an investor and a creator in the crypto space, I've written well over 1,000 pages of PDFs, guidebooks, et cetera, trying to nudge people in the right direction because I firmly believe that this information should be free and it's within everyone's capacity to get it. It's just a matter of do they have the information? Is it accessible? And yeah, I guess that was if that was the introduction, it must have left a positive note because, like I said, I'm just a dude on the internet trying to do the right thing. I don't charge for anything I do. I don't do paid meme coin shells. And
Could be
at the end of the day, it's a new blossoming tech sector. It's our generation's opportunity, and it's our opportunity to feel like we're going to make it.
Beautiful.
As you know, we are just two people sharing their opinions on the internet.
Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Nice final thought. I'm just kidding. I'll come to you in a second. The link is in your profile, and I can confirm that it is also in your profile on Twitter. So
that being said, I get your email address, so you might get a random email from me.
Oh shit.
I do infrequently write newsletters.
Okay, great. It's also at linktree/DeFiDaddy.soul, but you don't need to remember that. Just follow. Nathan will put his links in the description if you're listening in the future so that you can click the link in bio. And once you get there, it's just a couple of buttons on a link tree, and one of them says investing thesis.
I also stream on TikTok. Not often recently, but I will come back at some point and resume my 5-day-a-week schedule. I don't know when. I got to see this radium deal through. And
in that, you get bonus points because you might be the only person I know who runs a stream with music playing that has it appropriately balanced with your voice so that I can actually hear what you're saying while also being able to hear the track.
It's hard. Every time I have to adjust it slightly and I ask for feedback. Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Although another fun fact of DeFi Daddy / Nathan Lore, I was the first crypto creator on TikTok.
Really?
The very first.
August 2018. I had because there's no one else, bro. I was searching hashtag Bitcoin, hashtag crypto, hashtag BTC, everything. I had the top 9 videos for 6 months.
That was
not on this account.
On TikTok.
I've gone through 4 accounts. My first one had just over 100,000 followers before the cabal took it down.
That's really cool, dude.
Yeah. That's my fun piece of lore.
Dude, that's killer. Respect
two
where
years
respect
before
is
me.
due.
I was an idiot at the time posting it on the dancing app.
No, man, no. You were just early. What's the difference, right?
You feel like you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you are. Alex, Will, I'm going to make you fight for it. Who wants to go next? On my screen, Alex, it looks like you're both gesturing.
On my screen, it's like we're both just like
each other.
On TikTok, it's right. On stream, not.
Okay, all right, okay. Give us a final thought.
No, I have nothing new to share that I haven't shared already today in lives and videos and what we've talked about here. Except that if you are in the Boston area and you want the best lobster roll of your life, and I say this as someone who's from Maine, take lobster rolls very seriously, go to Hold Fast. It is a high-end casual seafood space, and the chef there, Ty, is a friend of mine, and he is the former head chef of Sarma, which was the #1 rated restaurant in Boston before he left, and he was also the second top chef at Oyan, which is the only Michelin star restaurant in all of Boston. The food is amazing. The lobster roll is the greatest I've ever had. If you're in the Boston area, Hold Fast. The logo is an otter. It's adorable. The food is cool. I can't say those words, otherwise the TikTok gods will get to please. It's very good and highly addictive. That's all I'll say. That's something non-crypto related.
I like that, and I'm going to show them on screen just for a second so the people in Holdfast can really get their money's worth, and maybe they'll give Will a free sandwich next time he goes. That looks as good as you made it sound, dude. Let me zoom in on this buttery lobster.
That otter
roll.
is super cute with the toucan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's kind of funny because it kind of looks like my buddy too.
You have a buddy who's an obster, an otter.
In lobster, yeah, no,
Yeah,
he looks like an
I
otter.
don't know what I'm saying.
But no, it seriously is the greatest lobster roll I've ever had. And also oh my god, my mouth's watering again, and I already had it. I had it earlier today. The shrimp roll's so good, and then they had this calamari roll that was just amazing. Oh god, it's so good. They have salt and vinegar French fries. Oh,
And Alex, coming to you, I actually helped you a little bit. I gave you a little assist with inspiration for this final thought. The rumor has it this was seen at a church somewhere outside of Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
The people in podcast land, you driven by signs just like this before. It says, DeFi is inevitable. Have
Yeah,
you got a
sounds
final
about right.
thought for us, man?
You heard it here first, folks.
That's it. DeFi is inevitable, and we will be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern, or wherever you are, whenever you listen. You can get all our links and so much more at community.rumshq.com. I would love, love, love to see you there. Thank you, everybody, for being the very best part of what we do. Until next time, my friends, stay safe, be well, everybody.